Yo, 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 what's going on, guys? It is your boy Brandon from Audio Addiction. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for hanging, thanks for chilling. If you're new here, we cover a lot of K-pop stuff. So come through if you're new. Would love to see you. Also, always a pinned link to Discord in the chat as well. So come here if you're vibing. But tonight we're gonna be covering SF9. Congrats to Jazz for getting 100,000 channel points. If you get 100,000 channel points, then a deep dive of your choice will be on the list here. So, uh, come hang out and chat, and that's how you get channel points and all that jazz. So, we'd love to see you there. But that's the vibe. That's what we're doing tonight. Uh, Patreon, I think, only has one video that I'm missing, and it was Wednesday stream. But that should hopefully be up soon. Other than that, YouTube is still YouTube is very still much in a work in progress. I uploaded a bunch more videos, so I think if you're watching on YouTube, you're gonna probably be getting a lot more content coming out. But other than that, you'll be vibing. Gunky, you've gotten like you have to have at least. I'm curious. I want to guess you've had at least. I want to say you've had at least 3 or 4, or maybe 4 or 5 deep dives at this point. You had IU, Nizu, Bandmade. I think there's one more. I don't know. I'm thinking. I think those are the three. If I got my mental notes correct. So, Sarah, hello. Unhi, hello. Gunky, hello. Kaylee, hello. Jazz, hello. Sally, hello. Not IU. Okay. Maybe it wasn't. For some reason, no. You were stoked about IU. So it was Nizu, Bandmade. There has to be another one like you did earlier on. I can't remember. I know those were definitely two of those for sure. But Yuna, that's what it was. Okay. Damn. You're at the number 4. That's nuts. Crazy. See, that's what I'm saying. If you're watching on YouTube, that's what I'm saying. Gunky's got 3 deep dives already. So if you're as dedicated as Gunky, then you too may also have the same thing. So yeah, YDBB and equals love for concert trip. So could have had a 4th already. So Sarah says I just gotta spin that wheels. That would spin then beat time. That's crazy. I didn't even really put it into perspective until just now. But either way, I'm kind of bullshitting a little bit. I should honestly be starting. Um, Again, huge kudos to Jazz. They gave me a whole Word document PDF file to be reading off of. So if you see it in the corner of my, if I look over here, then it's because it's on my other monitor. But we are doing SF9. This is part 1. SF9 is short for sensational feeling number 9. Debuted on October 5th of 2016 under FNC Entertainment. Originally with 9 members, including Youngbin, Insong, Jaeyoon, uh, Dawan, Rowan, Zuho, Yo Taeyang, hopefully of Taeyang, uh, Hui Young, and Chani. Their fandom name is Fantasy. Oh, okay. Very nice. They were formed on the survival show DOB, Dance or Band. Okay, very interesting. In which they competed against Neoz, band under the name Neoz Dance. The basis of the show was to see whether the band or an idol group would get the opportunity to debut. Interesting. Okay. That would have been an interesting show to watch. After winning, they became FNC's first boy group, as FNC primarily had bands under its management at the time. That makes sense. I do feel like they still hold the reins for that. And if I'm incorrect on that, keep me honest, chat. But SF9 are known for their bold choreography, elegant performances, incredible live vocals, impressive acting skills, and their height ranging from 5'10" to 6'3". Okay, they are tall boys. That's crazy. All right. And it looks like the first one we're doing is KO. This is their final performance from the DOB. The song was included in their debut EP. Very nice. Sarah says, all I know is that one of the members was the younger brother in Dorm at Your Service. Okay. And thank you, Jazz, for putting all the photos of all of them on here. Now I'll try to put them all together. So very nice, very nice. I will switch over to my screen here. Let's see. Sally says, I like SF9. Kaylee says, love these boys. Gunky says, or as the Kingdom Show will tell you, they are all models. Very nice. Okay, cool stuff. And Kaylee says, I'm sure we'll be able to help you identify them. That I appreciate. But it was also really cool. Again, shout outs to Jazz for screen capping all of them. That's awesome. Okay. Very nice. Let's get into it. Let's cook. Ooh. That choreo is sick already. Very nice. Very nice. Oh, can't do that yet. All right. Very nice. This was KO from SF9. Very nice. Very nice. This was cool. First of all, the show was really interesting. I'm gonna go back to the thing without any sound right now. But I enjoyed this a lot. This was a good starting point. This beginning with the choreography was insane. I feel like potentially Jazz may have undersold me on their choreography, which is good. I feel like it's always cool to see it, like visualize it and be like, wow, this is actually some insane choreography. So they did a fantastic job. That was clean. As well as that, this was a very fun song. I definitely feel like so. I feel like this song is a cool marker point to see where they land in terms of sound. But this definitely has like a very strong like EDM dubstep feel to it. So I'm curious if their actual like debut song is in a similar realm to that or not. But I did enjoy it. I did enjoy it. It definitely gave me a little bit of, I don't know, it gave me like a little bit of nostalgia. I think I've mentioned it in chat before, but I used to be, I would say that not as much anymore, certainly, but and if you listen to the genre still, I think it is very interesting. But I will say, to me at least, like the song itself, like it definitely gave me a lot of like older dubstep artists that I used to listen to. And I kind of, for me personally, it's a genre that I really haven't listened to in quite a long time, but it definitely reminded me a lot of those nostalgic periods in my uh listening habits earlier on. So I definitely like it for that reason. I don't feel like it either makes the song better or worse in my opinion, but I do feel like I always feel like I get attached to songs that have like some sort of nostalgia to me, or I have at least a better opinion on them. So I appreciate that. That definitely was really interesting. Their voices were really good though. That was something also, along with like the instrumentation of the song. I think their voices sounded out really well. They've got some really strong, like, I don't know how many rappers they have in this group, but there's definitely some people that were doing like a little bit of MCing. More specifically, I'm pretty sure it was, I know Zuho because he's the only one with blonde hair currently in this video, and I don't know if it's Dawan or not. But I want to say it was him. I could be completely wrong on that one, but but I know Zuho. I could probably say that with a little bit more surety. But those were cool. I thought four rappers. Okay, it was Chani. Okay, I don't know. It was I'm pretty positive it was Zuho, and then whoever was after Zuho in the song. If it was Chani, shout out to Chani. He's great too. Um, but yeah, overall, I think it's a solid performance. Obviously, it did them well in oh, Youngbin. Okay, very nice. Okay, shout out to Youngbin. Um, I thought overall it was very solid. Like I said, good ground. Good. I would say it's a good starting point. I can understand why people may have liked this at the time because, like I said, this may have been 2016, maybe. Yeah, probably just in the 2016. So I like that makes sense. That makes sense a little bit to some degree. So overall, not bad. I'm curious to see where they go from here, but overall, I didn't think it was I didn't think it was too bad. So Kaylee says iconic dance move. I would agree. No Santa, hello. Thanks for vibing. Appreciate you. Kaylee says Dong Soon song now in End Flying was in the show for the band. Ah, very nice. Well, glad to see they have moved on to greener pastures, certainly. So Jazz says, LOL, it's pretty repetitive to be honest, but the intro choreo was too iconic to pass up. I feel that. I feel that. That was really good. I feel like that I would have missed out on some cool choreo. So I feel that. And Kaylee says, "Oh, I didn't pay attention to that." Hey, that's all right, Kaylee. It's all good. We've got it. Chat's got it. So very nice. We are keeping it moving. I believe this is the first one. This is Fanfare. Let me see if Jazz has some info on me. Okay. Fanfare, Feeling Sensation debut single album was released on October 5th, 2016. This is their official debut after winning the Survival show. Very nice. Okay, that's what I thought. So, very nice. Let's keep it moving then. Oh. Okay. Okay. Cool harmony. Ooh, that like vibrato. Nice. Nice. All right. This was Fanfare from SF9. I think I definitely got a good shot. I was going to say most of them in frame here. So, see if I can get a better. That's probably pretty good. All right. Very nice. Very nice. Let's see what we got here. Gunky says, interesting intro. Okay. Kaylee says, this instrumental gets stuck in my head. And also said, Taeyang looks so young here. Yeah, they've been around. I know we just got a new song in the What's New in Discord. So I know that they've been around if they debuted in 2016. So this year is their 10th year, which is crazy. Good for them. Kudos. That's awesome. This was very interesting. I like this one more than the first song we listened to. Certainly. I will say the instrumental was interesting. I will agree with Gunky. I still feel like I would listen to this one again, certainly, because it was really interesting. I did enjoy that they brought back the like that really like da 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 like melody, but they added more stuff to it, I feel like, as the song kind of progressed, which was cool. I appreciate that. Like I feel like sometimes when you have songs that have like a really distinct melody and you want to kind of change it up but still kind of have that sort of thing that holds the song together. I think they did a really good job of making it feel distinct in that way. So I like that. There's a lot of layers in the song. So I appreciate that from like a songwriting perspective. There's different things that I feel like you could pick out about the song if you've listened to it a bunch of times. So there's definitely value in that. I love the ending of, I'm pretty sure it's the chorus. It's whoever's doing kind of the the vocal bend slash like there's like a little bit of, not a little bit, I think there is like some really cool like vibrato at the end. Taeyang, very nice, thank you, Jazz. He sounded incredible. I did really like that. He's got an incredible voice. I feel like the way that he kind of rounds out the song I think is really interesting. And I feel like first listen I was like, I don't know if this really works, and then second chorus we got into it and I was like, I feel like this works, and then by the final chorus I was like, no, that works, I like that. It's a different change up. The bridge was probably my second favorite part of the song, and I think the reason is that I really do appreciate that they had that main melody like ingrained in the song, but in the bridge they kind of took it away. And I thought that was really nice because I do feel like it makes you think like, oh wow, it's really still there, but in actuality, like song wise, I feel like they took it out, and then obviously they had the final chorus to kind of rope it all together. So I thought that was really interesting, and from like a songwriter's perspective, I like that they took it away and then brought it back. I thought that's always like, I feel like that always works usually. I feel like there's very few times where that doesn't really always connect with me, but I feel like with this song they did a really great job with that. The rapping in this was also really good. I feel like again, I loved Zuho in the first song that we listened to, KO, and I feel like I loved his voice in this one as well. So I have this intuition that I'm going to be, as my voice breaks, I have this intuition that I am probably going to bias him as 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 I feel like I do with most guys groups at this point, in terms of like a rapper. But overall, I thought this was really interesting, and I think it only makes me more curious to see like where kind of people land, I guess, in terms of SF9. Like I said, they've been around for almost a decade now. So I'm curious where, if you are watching this, where you came into SF9, and if we're gonna be we're gonna be covering like half of this tonight and half of this on Wednesday. So I'm curious where everybody kind of lands on this one if you're watching this post live. So but yeah, overall, I would say this is a pretty solid start for me. So very nice. All right, let's see what we got. The next one we have on our list here is called Together. Jazz says that this MV wasn't officially released until 2018, but since the song was on their debut single, I placed it here. Interesting. Was there any? I don't know if you may know this, Jazz, but I'm gonna ask. I'm gonna ask the class anyway. I'm curious as to why, if it wasn't officially released, I am curious as to why they released it in 2018 as opposed to like 2 years later after after like their debut. That's kind of wild. I feel like that's, to me, I feel like that's kind of unheard of, at least in the genre. So that's an interesting choice, certainly. But glad it's out. That's good. Good to see. So if you know, let us know. But all right, let's keep it schmovin'. The next one we got is Together. So Jazz says they played it at a fan sign or something before, but no idea why it was released so late. Okay. And Sarah says fish and cake and quirky liked. I'm kind of upset that I knew exactly what you were talking about and I just didn't even I didn't question it. So I feel like that is the chat influence on me. So let's keep it moving. I was just like, oh yeah, it's normal speak. It's good.
것 같은데 알아가면 알아갈수록 넌 하루가 다르게 색다른 걸 점점 더 깊이 빠져만 가는 걸 yeah. Girl, can't get you on my mind 보고 싶은 마음에 참기 힘든 하루였어 난 시간은 왜 더 느린지 네 생각만 왜 더 나는지 궁금해 난 미치겠어 Come on girl 내게 와 together 자꾸만 생각나 whenever 정말로 놓치기 싫은데 오늘도 over and over again Come on girl 내게 와 together 멈출 수 없어 난 forever So baby let's get back together Let's get back together 내게 와 together 자꾸만 생각나 whenever 정말로 놓치기 싫은데 오늘도 over and over again Pretty girl 네 생각에 잠들 수가 없는데 점점 더 깊이 빠져만 가는 걸 yeah. Girl can't get you on my mind 분량이 커진 마음에 두려워만 몇 번이라도 넌 모를 거야 이 느낌 말도 안 돼 impossible 사랑이 또 시작됐어 Come on girl 내게 와 together 자꾸만 생각나 whenever 정말로 놓치기 싫은데 오늘도 over and over again Come on girl 내게 와 together 멈출 수 없어 난 forever So baby let's get back together Let's get back together
지루한 무인도도 너만 있다면 난 보기에 그림이 돼
Only you girl
너의 비밀의 기장을 특별한 일들로 채워줄게
Baby we belong together baby Everyday 둘이어야 말이 돼 baby
옆에 붙어 내 발을 앉아 베베베 사실 안기고 싶어 널 끌어안을 땐
너랑도 싶어져 together 이대로 내 품에 whenever 너만을 원하고 있잖아 내 맘에 over and over again 모든 걸 다 했어 together 널 갖고 싶은 날 forever So baby let's get back together Let's get back together Come on girl 내게 와 together 자꾸만 생각나 whenever 정말로 놓치기 싫은데 오늘도 over and over again Come on girl 내게 와 together 멈출 수 없어 난 forever So baby let's get back together Let's get back together
Oh, very nice. This was SF9 together. Very nice, very nice. This was great. This is for sure up my alley, song wise. Really fun. I also enjoyed I always love these types of videos because to me I always get to see like a different side of the artist. I feel like a lot of them are very I feel like a lot of them are inherently goofy, and I mean that in a very like nice way. I consider myself goofy as well. So I feel like to me it's like, oh, you can resonate with them more, I feel. You know what I mean? Like you understand them a little bit better, and obviously they're different quirks and stuff, so I love that. Um Jess says they are very goofy, and Kaylee says yes, they're hot weirdos. That's quite the way to put it, certainly. But I thought this was really cool. Like I said, both from a visual perspective and seeing them be themselves, I think that's incredible. But I would also say as well, their vocals are incredible. I'm sure that I will be finding a lot more songs in their catalog where I'll be stoked about it, certainly. But I would say this one's high up on the list, certainly. I probably will have to break out the notepad in just a moment to jot down my favorites here. But I would say this one's I would say this one's in my favorite. I won't be bashful about this one. I like this one a lot. There are some people in this song that I didn't point out in the previous two that I wanted to show some love to. Rowan, I really liked. Dawan, I feel like was also incredible. And Jaeyoon, I feel like those three. I know they're on my like corner, like an L shape on my like PowerPoint doc thing. So shout out to all three of them. Those were my favorites. I also really liked Taeyong as well. He was incredible. But I feel like I feel like he might be a through line throughout my entire listening experience that I've liked, but those three I feel like to me stood out the most in this song. So I wanted to give them a salute because they were really good. So I'll have to be keeping my eyes peeled more, but I wanted to give a shout outs to those fellows because I enjoyed them the most. So they were great. Shout outs. I love that Sarah put a clapping emoji. Let's go. We love to see it. All right, very cool. The next one we've got on our list. I gotta put together on my favorites here. The next one we got is So Beautiful. This was released on December 22nd of 2016. So Beautiful was originally an OST for their pre-debut web drama called Click Your Heart. They decided to film an MV and present it to Fantasy. Okay, interesting. I feel like that. I don't know. Maybe that doesn't happen too often, but that's cool. So let's get into So Beautiful. Oh, it's a holiday song. Let's go.
오늘 하루 넌 어땠었는지 지루한 일상 똑같았는지 기분 좋은 바람을 따라가 멀리 떠나는 상상을 해 너와 걷는 길 지친 가슴은 bye 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 이대로 꿈을 꾸고 싶어 두려운 맘들 bye bye 내가 함께할게 날 바라보는 두 눈에 설렘 가득한 행복에
Great chorus. Wow.
어디라도 좋아 beautiful so wonderful 너와 함께라면 날 바라보는 미소에 마주 잡은 우리 두 손에 어디라도 좋아 beautiful so wonderful 너와 함께라면 난 행복한 걸 서둘지 마 한 걸음 지나면 힘든 하루도 웃게 될 거야 싱그러운 바람을 따라가 멀리 떠나는 상상들에 너와 걷는 길 지친 가슴은 bye 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 이대로 꿈을 꾸고 싶어 두려운 맘도 bye bye 내가 함께할게 날 바라보는 두 눈에 설렘 가득한 행복에 어디라도 좋아 beautiful so wonderful 너와 함께라면 날 바라보는 미소에 마주 잡은 우리 두 손에 어디라도 좋아 beautiful so wonderful 너와 함께라면 난 행복한 걸 때론 지쳐와 힘에 겨워 울어도 아픈 시련에 외로움 그려도 이제 다 bye bye every day 모두 다 bye bye every time 곁에 있을게 내 맘 너에게 다 줄게 널 바라본 내 맘에 수줍게 다가온 사랑이 가슴 벅차게 해 beautiful so wonderful 눈을 뗄 수 없어 날 바라본 두 눈에 설렘 가득한 행복에 어디라도 좋아 beautiful so wonderful 너와 함께라면 날 바라보는 미소에 마주 잡은 우리 두 손에 어디라도 좋아 beautiful so wonderful 너와 함께라면 난 행복한 걸
Aw, very nice. All right, very cool. This was SF9. So beautiful, very nice. We're getting into the holiday spirit early. Very nice. Jess says Merry Christmas. And you put a bunch of Santa emojis. Love that. I love that. Sarah says SF9 said it's Christmas, so Merry Christmas. Kelly says, why do I feel like we watched this before, like way back or something? We could have. I don't feel I normally I feel like my watch experience would show up here, and I don't. It looks like we may have listened to some. I know we've listened to some SF9, but I don't remember listening to this one for some reason. So I could be wrong. I'm getting there. So Gangi says, I have no complaints about a Christmas song right now, since I would gladly put Funky Glitter Christmas on repeat right now. All right, let's go. Santa is looking a little different, Sarah says, and Jazz says they got Chani out here seeing things. That's true. Also, Cal, hello. Thanks for coming through. I saw you earlier in chat and I didn't say anything. So, Kaylee says, IDK, it could be crazy. I just feel like I remember making a comment about wishing SF9 appeared like this in front of me. Listen, that's I respect that. As a complete sidebar, um shout outs to Scott Kramer for those who watch on YouTube, but he does like commentary stuff. But he did a video on Twilight and like trying to guess the ending of Twilight. And so my girlfriend's like, "Oh, we got to start watching Twilight." And I was like, "Oh god." So we watched the first movie, and and so I joked with my girlfriend. I said I should show up like Edward over the bed, like, like where he stands up and like is like hovering over Bella in that one bed in the first movie. So every time now that comment just brought that up, Kaylee. So now I'll never forget it. So that's so now I'll remember. Now I'll remember that SF9 could potentially be standing over me while I sleep, which is good or bad depending upon who you're asking. So, uh, but besides the point, uh, I like this song. This is very good. Obviously, got me in the holiday spirit. I am surprised we haven't listened. If we have not listened to it, I'm surprised we haven't listened to it because I feel like there's probably a multitude more of holiday songs, certainly, but I feel like we have not listened to this one to my knowledge. So that was cool. I like that. Really sweet song. I feel like the lyricism was very nice. For the holiday season, certainly. Um, I also feel like, to me personally, I feel like you can really do no wrong in terms of I feel like in terms of holiday songs. Like I feel like generally I'm usually like, oh yeah, these are good. Like they're always I feel like they're like the inverse of like a I feel like they're the inverse of like a summer song, like obviously weather-wise certainly, but I feel like genuinely like it's hard to fuck up a holiday song in my opinion. So maybe I would have to find the quest for the worst K-pop holiday song. But I thought this was very solid. I enjoyed it a lot. I feel like I would definitely throw this on during that holiday season, certainly. So I appreciate it. Though I feel like I could never get out of my head the comparison that like that some of these uh holiday like Christmas holiday songs have brought us in terms of envy. So I would say this one was definitely like more chill, which I appreciate. So very nice. Cal says, "Oh, Scott Kramer mentioned, yeah, shout outs. I've been watching him for a bit. So shout outs to Scott. I don't think he would be in this part of the YouTubes, but if he is, shout outs to the man, the myth, the legend." Andy says, "Oh my god," to my to my Twilight comment. Connie, hello, thanks for vibing, appreciate you. Uni says the clown noses were an interesting choice. Sarah says that they were dressed up as us. Oh no. Ikala says, "Hey, shout outs to Rudolph." That's true. Vibe check for real. Uni says, "Oh duh, I knew I had to be missing something." LMAO, let's go. And Connie says, "SF9, love them so much. They are on my top fave groups." Hey, let's go, let's go. We're doing a double feature this week, so very excited, very excited. But solid holiday song. Like I said, I feel like you could do no wrong with those vibes. So very nice. All right, we are keeping it schmoovin' tonight. The next one we've got is Roar. This is Burning Sensation first mini album released February 6th of 2017. Ooh, okay. Let's get into it then. Ooh. Wow, what an intro.
Hey little mama 아주 난리 났지 매일 밤에 Yeah Hey put me like that Hey put me like that 목이 타자 소리 질러 battle like a party Yeah Hey put me like that Hey put me like that So dangerous 미쳐 헤어날 수 없어 Run it run it run 시간 없으니까 착각하지 마 여기 뭐야 hot swagger forget it 시기로 차려 지하고 미친 별이 별이 lady 젊은 깨깨도 숨기지 없어도 바래 부르릉야 시동 걸어라
Wow.
시동 걸어라 I'm chillin' babe
Choreography is going crazy though.
Hey, put me like that. Hey, put me like that. Little mama, 정신 차려 나를 따라와봐. Yeah. Hey, put me like that. Hey, put me like that. So dangerous, 미쳐 헤어날 수 없어. Run it, run it, run. 시간 없으니까 착각하지 마. 여기 뭐야 hot swagger 정신 차려 분위기 좀 보고 비켜 띠띠빵빵 젊은 깨깨다 숨기지 없어도 바래 부르릉야
This chorus just hits. Wow.
시동 걸어라 불타 아무도 못 말려 Black rhythm and the bass kick boom boom 너만 내게 보이지 너 돈으로 다 바르지 Bounce like 두 손을 위로 나는 나대로 어딜 봐도 모두 다 네 나로 네 일이야 모두 다 흔들어 네 젊음을 태우지 그만둬 Break it down now 부르릉야 불을 붙여라 불을 붙여라 불을 붙여라
Wow. What a song. All right, this was SF9's Roar. If you're joining for part 1 of the deep dive, thanks for hanging. Thanks for chilling. Appreciate you. Sarah says, "Ooh, this was really cool." And looks like chat was vibing. Okay. I see you, chat. Very nice. I enjoyed this. I was a little I'll be honest, I was wondering where it was gonna go. That first, like, the verses of this song are very interesting, and I was like trying to figure out where I've heard like that type of sound from before, and I was like, oh man, I'm like, this is a song I know 100%. And then I realized, I was like, oh my god, I'm like, is it, and I could only remember like a meme of it, and it was the like obsessive girlfriend meme where she did a parody of Justin Bieber's Boyfriend, and I was like, that's the song. But it like reminds me like especially the verses more specifically remind me of like that type of sound that I feel like I have remember in Boyfriend by Justin Bieber. And now I can't unhear it. Like, uh, and I'm like, ah, shit. Like, I got to connect the dots somewhere. But yeah, the verses definitely remind me of that. And that could either completely dismantle people's approval of this song or not. Um, I feel like for me, I feel like that song was heavily overplayed and for obvious reason. But I don't know. I don't have a hate or love for it either. I feel like I'm very, very Switzerland on this one. But I will say, I think the things that I actually enjoyed about the song were that pre-chorus build, and I like that they give you like a little bit of a second of break in between. I thought that was super intentional, and I think like if I'm listening to it on like a streaming service, I might not be like, ah, yeah, this. I was like, why did they cut? Like, why did they leave a pause in there? But now watching it, like if I was to watch the MV, I'd be like, oh, that makes sense. They're like making space for the choreography in the MV. So I feel like it's intentional. I like that. I think that if I was to listen to it on streaming, I may not have been as happy about it, but there's songs that have taken me out of it in a much worse fashion. So I did not feel like it was too terrible in that aspect. The chorus, insane. Like the first chorus when we got into it, I was like, holy shit, this is such a wall of sound, but like in a good way. I feel like they took a lot of the elements from like the first song that we listened to, KO, and I think they kind of modified it a little bit more, which I like. Like it definitely had a stronger like EDM focus to it. But I also feel like they definitely took it in a different direction, which I appreciate. So I do like that a ton. But yeah, overall, I thought it was very solid. Like I said, if I've completely ruined Roar's verses for you, I'm apologetic. I will extend my olive branch to you. Apologies. But overall, I thought it was a very solid song. I did enjoy it. Like I said, I feel like the main chorus of the song was definitely like the pre-chorus and the chorus, and I think they did a great job of doing that. Also, I have to give a salute to the choreography. The choreography in this song was insane. So shout outs to them. They did some like all those like twirls and jumps and shit, like really cool stuff. I think the choreo has been exceptionally well done in a lot of these songs. So I got to give them some salutes because I feel like I didn't on the previous two. Well, the last one was like a holiday song, so I'm not going to count that one. But the previous like title track songs that we've listened to recently, I felt like this one was like they definitely took it up a notch, even more so. So very nice. Sarah says no and yes. I feel like you are also conflicted on on my on my commentary on that. So I do feel slightly bad. It looks like Jazz said LOL and Andy gave me the laughing emoji. So I either struck a nerve or not. So but listen, hey, you guys come here for my honest commentary. So I think I've won out here. So very nice, very nice. Before I put my foot even further into my mouth, I'm gonna keep it moving with the next one, which is Jess says, I'll just pretend you never said that so I can listen to the song in peace. That actually makes me feel worse, honestly. That's hilarious. But oh man. Damn. That's so bad. Anyway, we're gonna keep it moving. The next one I've got here is Still My Lady. They promoted this song along with Roar on music shows. A short time later, they released the Mandarin version of the song along with an MV. Oh, okay, very interesting. All right, let's get into it.
Used to be.
여전히 예뻐 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 밤이 넘어가질 않아 죽겠어 몇 살까지 네가 밟아주겠어 오늘 밤에 네가 내게 너무 달고 쓰다 절대 진실하게 안 봐 인스타그램 혼자 어떡할래 그래
Hey, Bubble Soul, let's go.
어떻게 내게 뭘
My man.
네 앞에 그 사람 보고 말았어
내 맘은 아프지만 네가 이 미소가 우리 둘이 잘 어울리네
여전히 예뻐 아름다워 믿을 수가 없는데
기분이 뭐 같아 어딜 가도
너 없이 나 하루도 겁나 Oh my lady, still my lady 연기처럼 다 사라져
어딜 가도 너야 미치겠어
이젠 뒤를 봐도 보이지 않아 여전히 널 어리석게 난 왜 너무 예뻐 그때 너를 보내 여전히 널 계속되는 후회
아직까지 너인지 나인지 너무 헷갈리는
여전히 널내 미소에 너무 예뻐 저간 이 밤에 여전히 널 눈부시게 예뻐
아직까지 너인지 나인지 너무 헷갈리는 밤에
사랑이란 걸 안 할 줄 몰랐지 첫눈에 네가 운명인 줄로만 알았지 내 밤을 항상 밝히고 향긋하게 녹는 캔들 마냥 네 입술은 깊고 달았지
너 없는 밤에 몰려온 그날의 후회 방은 어둡고 너라는 초는 다 녹은 후회 넌 잘 지낼까 나처럼 힘들지는 마 너의 아픔까지 내가 다 안고 갈 테니까
네 앞에 그 사람 보고 말았어
그 어느 때보다 행복해 보여서 다행이야 그래 둘이 잘 어울리네
여전히 예뻐 아름다워 믿을 수가 없는데
기분이 뭐 같아 어딜 가도
너 없이 나 하루도 겁나 Oh my lady, oh my lady 연기처럼 다 사라져
어딜 가도 너야 미치겠어
이젠 뒤를 봐도 보이지 않아 여전히 널
That's sweet.
홀로 남은 밤이 외로워서 너를 위해 불러주던 노래만 다시 또 여전히 예뻐 아름다워 자꾸 날 보고 싶어
기분이 뭐 같아 어딜 가도
너 없이 나 버틸 순 없어 Oh my lady, oh my lady 다시 떠나지 않네
이미 지나간 내 추억 속에
이젠 뒤를 봐도 보이지 않아 여전히 널 어리석게 난 왜 너무 예뻐 그때 너를 보내 여전히 널 계속되는 후회
아직까지 너인지 나인지 너무 헷갈리는
여전히
밤에
널내 미소에 너무 예뻐 저간 이 밤에 여전히 널 눈부시게 예뻐
아직까지 너인지 나인지 너무 헷갈리는 밤에
Aw. Oh, we got more?
내 파트라고 이랑
내 파트 내 파트
Oh my god. What a bunch of psychos. We love to see it. All right. This was Still My Lady by SF9. Very nice. Very nice. The ending was great. I love that. I'm glad I watched all the way to the end. There was a really good shot of all of them. Let me see if I can scroll back. I should have looked over, honestly. Okay, I think this was good if I've got it. Very nice. Okay, awesome. This was great. I do feel like they do a really good job of some of like the, I don't know, I wouldn't consider this really a ballad, but I feel like some of the slower songs they do a really great job of highlighting their voices, and maybe it's just because the contrast of like listening to Roar and then listening to this song. But I feel like something that I've noticed about a lot of K-pop groups is that there's such a fun um there's such a fun discrepancy between like how great their voices are in terms of like really strong and energetic title tracks, but I also feel like some of these songs that are like either B-sides or like songs that maybe, aren't as in your face as other songs are. I feel like it's so nice to hear I feel like it's so nice to hear them in a different context and for them to still do a really great job on that. And I feel like that's the case with this song. Like, I really appreciate what they do in terms of like their high energy, like more in your face sort of title tracks. But I also feel like, in contrast, like the way that they are singing this song and the way that they're kind of like vocally articulating is just really nice. And I think that obviously awards them a lot of merits to me, as a listener, because I think they're just so capable of doing songs that are like this that kind of touch at the heartstrings in some ways. And then as well as that, having songs that are a little bit more anthemic or bigger, bigger than life in terms of what they're doing. So I appreciate that about a lot of K-pop groups, is that their way of being able to be very like chameleon-esque and being able to really fit what the song needs, and I think they did a fantastic job with this. I would say in terms of vocals overall, I don't know if I really had a favorite. They all sounded incredible in this song. Their voices were very warm and inviting, and I think they did a really great job with that. I think it's also contrasted really greatly with like how humorous they are as well. So, I really appreciate that a lot. Like, it was very lighthearted in like a good way. But I think they do these songs in a really nice contrast to like some of those bigger, like I said, bigger anthemic sort of title tracks. So, I don't think that I have a favorite on this one, but I enjoyed all of them a ton. So this is a very fun song. Beautifully arranged too. I love the instrumentation on this. It was really good. So solid song. Appreciate it. All right. We are keeping it moving. The next one we've got is Easy Love. This is from Breaking Sensation, their second mini album, and it was released on April 18th of 2017. Oh, okay. So not that much longer after. So, all right, let's get into Easy Love then.
변한 건지 아닌 건지 네가 좀 어색해 뻔한 건데 아는 건데 내가 좀 이상해
입으로 아니라 해. 네 표정은 가면을 써. 혼자 네가 뱉는 말 언제부터인지 금이 가게 되고 찢겨지게 되고 난 어이없이 망가져 꺼져줄게 네가 밉지만 지질하기 싫어서 넌 이별이 참 쉽다 난 아픈데도 넌 쉽다 날 떠난데도 아무렇지 않으니까 Just let me wanna go 눈물조차 없으니까 사랑이 싫다 난 아프니까 넌 싫다고 욕하니까 얼음처럼 변하니까 Just let me wanna go 흉터처럼 남으니까 억지로 입었던 너란 옷이 이제 내게 너무 꽉 껴 벗지도 못할 거라면 찍겠어 이제 그만 이별업 당겨
너가 원하던 거 내가 떠나줄게 지금 널 놔줄게 사람들 가슴에 메아리가 되어 이 노래가 네 귀에 닿았으면
언제부터인지 금이 가게 되고 찢겨지게 되고 난 어이없이 망가져 꺼져줄게 네가 밉지만 지질하기 싫어서 넌 이별이 참 쉽다 난 아픈데도 넌 쉽다 날 떠난데도 아무렇지 않으니까 Just let me wanna 떠나간다 믿었는데 너 멋대로 뒤돌아가 버려 I don't wanna let this go You just wanna end this love
네 품이 이제 내게 꿈이 돼 네 향기가 내겐 이제 숨이 돼 숨결이가 파올라서 흐르는 눈물이 날 집어삼켜 내 위로 솟아난 가시가시 밖을 갔던 이야기를 덮어 너와 나의 이별 끝마침 너와의 마지막인 맞춤
널 보내는 게 쉽다 난 다지만 난 쉽다
Love the ad-libs in the back. Wow.
아무 말도 없으니까 그래야 날 견디니까 사랑이 싫다 난 아프니까 넌 싫다고 욕하니까 바람처럼 변하니까 흉터처럼 남으니까
All right. Very cool. This was Easy Love from SF9. If you've been joining, appreciate it. Very nice. Let's see what we got here. Kaylee says, one thing I'll always obsess over with SF9 is the use of colors in their MV. I love it so much. Yeah, they do really. I feel like their MVs are really like color wise very dynamic. So I would also agree. That was something else I've noticed. So they've all been shot beautifully. So let's see. Sarah says, I have not for a second known what was going to happen next in this song, but it's really cool. Okay. And Jazz says ad libs were in song. Very nice. He sounded great. There's definitely some moments in this song, in that bridge. I thought he was really phenomenal. There's a few people that I really liked. Zuo, I feel like his rap was really incredible in the song. I feel like it's been the most standout so far in terms of his rap sections. I also really like his vocal tone. I feel like he's really good. As far as vocals in this song, I was trying to figure out who in the MV it was, and then I looked over, and I just happened to look over at the right time. But Da Won and Rowan were my favorites so far in the song. I feel like they both have the most unique vocals, and I don't know if maybe it was just in this song specifically, but I felt like their voices were definitely different comparatively maybe to other songs, or maybe I'm not picking up some of their inflections, but I felt like their two voices were the most interesting to me, and I latched on pretty quickly. I feel like Dawoon definitely had like he's got like a very interesting kind of like colorization to his voice, that I'm hoping either was maybe just this song, but I'm also hoping that it's kind of something that I may hear from him going further. I don't know. But I really enjoyed his vocals in this song. I thought they were really good. And Rowan as well. I feel like his voice was somebody that stood out to me in previous songs, but I felt like with this one, it was definitely like, again, very similarly looked over, saw the MV, saw his name, and I was like, oh, perfect. Like it was lined up perfectly for me to see it. But his voice was really good. I will say it was interesting, I guess, from a song perspective. I do like the guitar loop that they used in this song. I thought it was really gorgeous, and I like that they paired it up with the verse in this song. I think they did a really great job of making it interesting in that aspect, but I also love that they were able to kind of amplify it a little bit more in the chorus of the song. I think the chorus is definitely one of the stronger pieces of the song, and they definitely did a beautiful job with that. And I think at the end of the song, obviously shouts to InSong as well, but his voice and just kind of the way that they brought out like the best vocal moments of the song towards the end, I thought was really great. It makes the song kind of feel more full circle. But yeah, I really love the chorus in this. I think it was very dynamic in like a good way. And I think it does really do a great job of differentiating, and I guess in some ways making it seem a little bit more powerful in that chorus comparatively to the verses. Like the build up from the verses to the pre-chorus to the chorus, I think they did a really great job of making that that emotion felt in the song. So I really enjoyed this one a lot. This one was very solid. I would probably put this on my favorites. I enjoyed it enough for it to be on the list, certainly. I think really what got me was that chorus. I think truly that was where I was like, ooh, that makes sense. I like that. So very solid song from them. I think they did a great job. So let's see. Kaylee says that's the part art major in me nerding out. That's fair. That's fair. That's okay. We'd love to see it. So all right. We're keeping it moving. The next one we've got on the list is Hide and Seek. Another self-made MV from the same release as Easy Love. Hey, all right. Let's get into it then.
Here's a little song for you, girl. Ooh, yeah. Na, 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 na.
Hey, listen up. 뭔가 말하려는 듯 입술은 너무 마치 처음 만남 같지.
공기마저 난 좋아 넌 지금 소리 대신 말하잖아 긴장한 거 맞지?
사실에 넌 뭔가 숨기고 있어. No, 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 no. 왜 자꾸 말을 하려다가 말아. 깃불이 빨개 안절부절해. 나 이거 알아. 누가 봐도 이건 나야. 심장은 두근두근 여기까지 들리잖아. Yeah. 너에게 보일라. 숨기던 네맘 모를 것 같니. 바보야 너만 찾는 내 맘은 왜 몰라. 머리카락 보일라. 쏟아주는 것도 힘들 만큼 다 보여. 찾을까 말까 잡을까 말까 못 참겠다 솔직히 말할까. 머리카락 보일라.
꼭꼭 숨어야 내 머리카락 골라 이건 너에게 하는 내 마음 스포일러 나 간지러워서 이런 말 잘 못하는데 요즘 자꾸 생각해 너랑 나랑 fall in love
Boy 빨개진 널 보면 수줍은 소년의 심장 박동 조절이 안돼넌 마치 자석같이 날 자꾸 끌어당겨 난 지금 널 보면 당장 끌어낼 것 같아.
왜 자꾸 놀라 붙자마자 티나 손끝만 살짝 스쳐도 간장 보니까 너 좀 귀여운 것 같아. 아이야이야이야 나 눈빛이 흔들흔들 나까지 다 떨리잖아. Yeah. 너에게 보일라. 숨기대고 네맘 모를 것 같니. 바보야 너만 찾는 내 맘은 왜 몰라. 머리카락 보일라. 쏟아주는 것도 힘들 만큼 다 보여. 찾을까 말까 잡을까 말까 못 참겠다 솔직히 말할까. 머리카락 보일라. 다 알고도 모른 척나 일부러 그러는 게 아니야. 그런 네가 예뻐 보여서 그냥 너무 좋아서.
예전과 달리 넌 노란색을 분명히 나타내 변한 항상 믿고 이젠 그 꽃은 나란 포장지에 담아 너와 나에게 선물하려 해. 어때?
네맘 모를 것 같니. 바보야 너만 찾는 내 맘은 왜 몰라. 머리카락 보일라. 쏟아주는 것도 힘들 만큼 다 보여. 찾을까 말까 잡을까 말까 못 참겠다 솔직히 말할까. 머리카락 보일라. 머리카락 보일라. 머리카락 보일라. 너만 찾는 내 맘 왜 몰라.
Okay. All right. It's okay. Just flex. Sorry. Is what it is. This was Hide and Seek from SF9. This this is on the list. this I'm not gonna front. This one's on the list for sure. This one's one of my favorites. Which I feel like this is maybe a sign to go check out Breaking Sensation. So I will have to go check out this album because I like the two off the release, which is always good. Jazz is so good, absolutely adore this song. I don't blame you. This is a high key great pick. I love this song. I think the instrumentation, first of all, the instrumentation of the song so fucking good. I love like that really kind of like cool, like riffy, like a little funky bass line in this song. Incredible bass work. I also love that they kind of have like this like piano. They have, first of all, they have piano in the song, but then they also have kind of like a like I don't know if it's like an organ per se, but that I would say maybe like kind of in an organ sort of uh category. I really love it kind of gives me like the same sort of organ sound that I would hear from like Superstitious by Stevie Wonder. One of the I would argue one of the best songs of all time. Um but I feel like it kind of has that sort of like funky riffing that I really appreciate. I also really love the like horn section in the song. I think it just makes it more like dynamically fun and just really interesting. So I love that. Um, the vocals on this song, chef's kiss. They were so good. There's so many more members I was able to give that I knew obviously by recognizing their faces. But like again, shout outs to In Song, Dawon, Rowan, and I really enjoyed their voices. Obviously, Taeyong was incredible too. I don't feel like I heard as much of him. Maybe it's him doing. I don't know who's doing kind of the ad libs towards the end of the song, but they were also incredible too. But I feel like those collective members were the ones that I enjoyed the most in this song. Also shout outs to like every the other members as well. Hui Young, I also really enjoyed as well on that side. But I think they do even like I think even when in these types of songs where I feel like the rappers are incredible certainly in this group, but I also feel like I also saw like some parts where they were kind of contributing some vocals as well. I'll give a shout outs to like Youngbin and Hui Young. I feel like those two specifically were ones that I noticed that were doing like a little bit of singing leading into like the rap sections, which I thought were really interesting. So I gotta give a shout out to them because their voices also sounded really good. I'm sure all of them can sing, certainly, as I'm sure we've uncovered about a lot of K-pop groups. But I thought this song was really great, and I genuinely like. I know I gave shout outs to pretty much everyone in the song, but genuinely they were all really, 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 really good. And I think they've only kind of continued to impress me more and more with each release and with each song. So yeah, I think they, as much as they are incredible dancers, they are also incredible singers as well and rappers. So this one I feel like deserves to be on my list of favorites from this part one. So I feel like I would be surprised if I didn't put this on the list. So this was a must listen. So very nice, very nice. All right, we'll keep it moving tonight. The next one we've got is Also Mio. This is from their release Knights of the Sun, their third mini album. Released on October 12th of 2017. And the song I discovered them is the song that Jazz discovered them with. Very nice. All right. Very nice. Kaylee says, yeah. And Cal says, hey. All right. So some of y'all know ball. So that's good. Let's get into it. Ooh. All really great.
비춰줘 날 환히 비춰줘 영원히 Oh, this Maria 너만이 나를 뜨겁게 하네 겁내지 마이 바람이 몰아쳐도 꺼지지 않는 Oh, 설렘이 어땠기에로 넘는 태양 가릴 수 없어 숨이 턱턱 막혀와 피할 수 없어 설렘이 어땠기에로 넘는 태양 Oh, my lady 잊을 순 없어 Oh, 설렘이여 Oh, 설렘이여 Oh, 넌 내 태양 어디 가도 비춰주네 Oh, my lady 어둠 속에도 Oh, 설렘이여
Let's talk about I'm just living in yours
Just baby don't
오늘도 너와 나는 발을 맞춰가면 나갔어 도도하게 오늘도 난 녹아
Always 너는 나를 놔두게 해내 모든 것들은 너로 시작 매일매일 I'm living in your core in my side 영원히 넌 also let me yo me yo me yo
Oh, 액정이여 아직 네 온기가 가득해 Oh, this Maria 너만이 나를 뜨겁게 하네 겁내지 마이 바람이 몰아쳐도 꺼지지 않는 Oh, 설렘이 어땠기에로 넘는 태양 가릴 수 없어 숨이 턱턱 막혀와 피할 수 없어 설렘이 어땠기에로 넘는 태양 Oh, my lady 잊을 순 없어 Oh, 설렘이여
눈이 부신 너를 바라볼 수 없어 두 눈을 감아 Only you lady
Yeah 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 어둠 속에 나를 구해줘 이제 나의 손을 잡아줘 뜨겁게 나를 안아줘
언제든 날 비춰줘 Oh, save me every day Oh, 설렘이 어땠기에로 넘는 태양 가릴 수 없어 숨이 턱턱 막혀와 피할 수 없어 설렘이 어땠기에로 넘는 태양 Oh, my lady 잊을 순 없어 Oh, 설렘이여 Oh, 설렘이여 Oh, 넌 내 태양 어디 가도 비춰주네 Oh, my lady 어둠 속에도 Oh, 설렘이여
All right, very cool. This was SF9 Oh So Mio. Very nice, very nice. Let's see what we got here. Gunky says, "Ooh, this song very nice." This was really good. I enjoyed this a lot. I also I find it so interesting in like a good way. I always find it interesting when like K-pop groups incorporate like Spanish into their lyricism. It's so amazing to me. I can barely speak in English, and meanwhile they're like, oh yeah, I'm ciphering between like Spanish, Korean, and English, which was cool. I appreciate it. I eventually, I don't know. I don't even think I could be trilingual at this point, but it is what it is. But I thought this was great. This was Cal says, I know this is off of Kingdom, but I never seen the MV. Ooh, very cool. Very nice. Jazz says, so many groups were doing Spanish slash Latin concepts at the time. It was a whole wave. That is true. That is true. I feel like it's interesting. I appreciate it. I always love, I always feel like there's a interesting kind of juxtaposition between like, these types of songs for me, like in a good way, where I'm like, it's so interesting and I think it's so intriguing to me to like listen to a song and like really I guess like to try or at least kind of comprehend at least most of what is talked about in the song. I think it's really interesting. And then when you throw in like another like language, and I know a lot of groups kind of tend to be multilingualist, it is really cool. And I think that it just makes me appreciate that like music is in and of itself its own language, right? I think it's so cool to see like, again, see people in chat saying like, oh, this is the first instance. And I guess I wouldn't even collectively leave it under this whole deep dive, but just in general, like when you get into music, regardless of genre, I always feel like music has that type of impact on people, and obviously it has kept you around and kept you listening to this genre, this artist. And so I think there's a lot of appreciation that I could go on and rant and rave about, but it is really cool to see. And obviously, this is some people's first introduction to K-pop, which is always incredible. But I feel like this was very well done. I love like the sort of nylon string, acoustic, like Spanish influenced style guitar in this. I feel like they did a great job of it. It feels very dynamic, very fun. It obviously pairs well with sort of the Spanish lyricism of the song as well too, and kind of again, the way that Jazz was putting it in chat, like that Spanish Latin concept. I think they did a really great job. I also noticed as well, like like some dance moves that correlate to like, and again, chat can correct me if I'm wrong on this, but like I saw some dance moves that kind of correlated to like a matador. I don't know if that's what I don't know how accurate that is. I want to say it's pretty accurate, but like the way that they kind of did some parts of the dances felt very akin to that, which is really cool. And obviously paying homage to that in and of itself, again, stemming back to that sort of Latin and Spanish influence. I feel like it even goes through the choreography aspect of it, which is incredibly cool as well too. The song is super catchy. I will say that chorus is really, really, really good. I enjoyed that a lot. I also really enjoyed the rap section. I do see that I did notice Young Bin because I feel like I noticed him. I don't know who else he was with on the like that plane section towards the beginning of the song, but whoever was before him was really good as well. So I felt like the whole rap section in this song was really, really well put together. So gotta give a shout out to Young Bin and obviously whoever else I'm gonna reference here. I want to say I don't think it was Zuho. I'm pretty sure. So, but really, really solid. Again, super catchy, super fun. And enjoyed this one a lot. So this one was solid. Uh, Jazz says, I think I just read the comment, but I'll read it again. So many groups were doing Spanish/Latin concepts at the time. It was a whole wave, especially VAV and Suju. Okay, very nice. Kaylee says this song was actually my first exposure to a K-pop group doing a song like this. Oh, very nice. That is cool. That is cool. I feel like I had a comment. I was gonna. Oh, I feel like it would be cool. We'll have to do it for a future chaos stream, certainly. But I feel like a theme that would be cool would be I'm pretty sure I've asked this to chat, but maybe I'll ask it again because it was fun. But like first, like your first introduction to K-pop. I'm pretty sure we did it at one point, but would love to do it again. I feel like that was really fun. So we'll have to do some more themes in the foreseeable future. I know we still have to do the Japanese theme, which I haven't done yet. So we'll have to do that at some point as well. But really cool. So shout out to y'all for the recommendations. But okay, Gunky said we did do that before. We did do that before. Okay. I don't know. We need to do the the weather theme one was also cool. I did like that one. I was no digs at Kaylee. I thought that was incredibly timed, but that was a vibe. That was a vibe certainly. So I love Kaylee shots, but it was good. Kaylee says, so it's so true. I know I feel I have a strong guilt complex, so I'm sure it was my doing here. But all right, very cool, very cool. We are keeping it schmoovin'. The next one is Let's Hang Out. This is their fourth self-made MV, and this is in celebration of their 400 days since debut. Hey, let's go. Andy said sounds fun. Kaylee says it's 80 right now, but Wednesday it's supposed to be 25 and snow possibly. Bro, that's so crazy. Oh my god. I listen. I genuinely don't know how some of y'all in chat like live where you live. You know, like it is absolutely insane to hear this shit. I mean, like this week for where I live is gonna be like almost 90 on Wednesday, which is crazy. So I'm gonna sweat my ass off on Wednesday. But um, Kaylee says I'm in a tank top and shorts, but my coat is ready. Oh my god. That's crazy. All right. Well, speaking about crazy, we're keeping it moving with the SF9 boys, and we were taking let's hang out. So let's check it out.
오늘은 그냥 나랑 놀자 내일도 그냥 나랑 놀자 답답한 도시를 떠나서 이리 와 내가 예뻐해줄게
Yeah. 어디 갔다 왔어 메인 스테이지 데리데리데리 붐붐대
Alright 네가 최고 나는 내 끌리는 대로 살아왔다 아이가
일도 사랑도 정열적으로 놀게 놀자 빼지 좀 말고 본능적으로
우 너로 정했어
내게 맞는 flavor 갈 때까지 가자고 Play hard
우 심장 터지게
아침 해 뜰 때까지 나보고 나가라 할 때까지
리듬에 몸을 맡겨 릴리리만 보
아 showtime 지금부터 진짜가 나가신다 Drum and bass
모두 다 입을 맞춰라 다다 해
Everyday night everyday wow Hey lady
너 준비가 됐지 난 미친 것 같지 네가 하고 싶은 거 다 해 거짓말 같지 숨가쁘게 빨리 네가 하고 싶은 거 다 해 오늘은 그냥 나랑 놀자 나랑 놀자 너도 그냥 나랑 놀자 나랑 놀자
한 도시를 떠나서
나랑 놀자
이와 내가 예뻐해줄게
Let me talk about something 지금 내 시간에 매콤이 울려
여기는 코미디 아닌 멜로 설레만 가득해 모두가 분명
무위에서 트럼플린 난 네 맘에서 덤블링
모두 빙빙한 여자들만 가득해 지금 여기 우리
리듬에 몸을 맡겨 릴리리만 보
아 showtime 지금부터 진짜가 나가신다 Drum and bass
모두 다 입을 맞춰라 다다 해
Everyday night everyday wow Hey lady
너 준비가 됐지 난 미친 것 같지 네가 하고 싶은 거 다 해 거짓말 같지 숨가쁘게 빨리 네가 하고 싶은 거 다 해 오늘은 그냥 나랑 놀자 나랑 놀자 너도 그냥 나랑 놀자 나랑 놀자
한 도시를 떠나서
나랑 놀자
이와 내가 예뻐해줄게
마음이 가는 대로 어디라도 좋아요 난 네가
네가 너무 좋아 너가 뭐 원하든 다 좋아 Call me my name
내게 왔어 안겨도 돼
뭐든지 다 해줄게 너 준비가 됐지 난 미친 것 같지 네가 하고 싶은 거 다 해 거짓말 같지 숨가쁘게 빨리 네가 하고 싶은 거 다 해 오늘은 그냥 나랑 놀자 나랑 놀자 너도 그냥 나랑 놀자 나랑 놀자
한 도시를 떠나서
나랑 놀자
이와 내가 예뻐해줄게
Got a little more. I always find it interesting. Oh, by the way, this was SF9's song "Let's Hang Out." Very nice. Um, let's see what we got here. I'm just curious what chat's saying. Kaylee says this song's fun. Sarah says this song reminds me of time of our lives by Pitbull and Neo. That's crazy. Kala says, speaking of weather, I think we're having an earthquake. Oh God, stay safe, Kala. My God. Callis says it was teeny tiny. I think we're good. Okay, fingers crossed. Hopefully, let us know if you're safe or not. Overall, I thought this was very fun. I can see where Sarah's getting that. I could put the pieces together for that. I can hear elementation from that song. So I get you. I'm picking up what you're putting down. Um, I enjoyed this. I enjoyed this. Very fun song. I think like again in a way, I feel like they always do a great job of those really like chill, fun songs, and I like that this one kind of again has like a little bit of a funkiness to it. The synth choice in this was really cool. I also love like the call outs to like the instrumentation, and you can hear like the bass and like the guitar doing like a little bit of ad libbing. I thought that was a cool call out, and also cool like delivery from like the band perspective. I thought that was really fun. The vocals on this were really good. I also noticed that, man, I really appreciate Insung as well. Like, his voice is so good, and I really love his voice in this song a ton. So I thought that was really good. Um, as well as that, some other members, Dawoon and Rowan. I feel like those are members that have stuck with me. I enjoy like their vocal color so much, and I'm glad that I'm noticing it more and more as we kind of get deeper into their discography. But yeah, I thought this was a really fun song. Um, really riffy on the like the instrumental side, so I thought that was cool. So let's see. Kaylee says the universe just wanted to laugh at us. That's crazy. Guggy says it's been a long while since I've been in a earthquake living in Southern California, excuse me. I used to get earthquakes, small earthquakes all the time. Cal says it heard us talking and says, I'll do you one better. Oh God. Stay safe, Sarah, as well. BRB, we're having an earthquake. Oh God. God, man, this is crazy. Guggy says, I think I've only experienced one or two earthquakes since I moved to Ohio. I'm not gonna jinx. I'm gonna keep my mouth shut. So I'm gonna stop reading the comments on the certain things that begins with E and ends in quake, because I am not trying to get that going. Enjoyed the song. This was good. Andy says, "Stay safe, guys." I agree. I feel like people in chat. Are gonna get it now, but I can't wait for somebody to see this in like a month and then find, or like a couple of months and find out what we're talking about, which is crazy. But very nice, very nice. We're gonna keep it moving though tonight. The next one we got is Mamma Mia. I almost did that in a Mario voice, which I am not going to do, but could have. This is from their God. This is from their fourth mini album of the same name, Mamma Mia, released February 26th of 2018. Jazz says, this is such a good concert song. It's so fun to sing along to. Oh God. What about a Mickey Mouse voice? Oh God, I could do that. Mamma Mia. There we go. Somebody can clip that if they want. This Gunky says, I remember I'm not gonna listen, we're not gonna talk about that. I'm getting off the topic of the E-Quake. Kaylee says this song really does get stuck in my head too for weeks. And Cal says no one clipped that. Oh God. No one. Okay, good. Thank God. No one's gonna clip it. Anyway, let's keep it moving. Oh, I know it's already been done.
We're back again.
All my time is up.
원래 맘마미아 보면 맘마미아 심장이 뜨거워져 핫핫핫 온 눈에 띄는 네가
어둠 위로
튕기면 뭐할래 진짜는 진짜를 알아보는 법 Cause I'm the supernova
올해 맘마미아 너는 아름다워 반드시 널 내 걸로 만들겠어 올해 맘마미아 그게 바로 너야 같은 작정신 못 차리겠어 올해 맘마미아 널 보면 맘마미아 심장이 뜨거워져
여기저기 널 찾기 바빠 화려하게 빛나는 light Holding 것 같다 처음에 너 같은 type Betting
내 맘이 안 달라게 아니 불안해 조심스러워 미치겠어 눈 뜨고 보는 중 한번 건드려봐줘
구석 네 안고 싶어 너의 맘을 갖고 싶어
고민인지 아닌지 모르겠어 네가 사라질까 겁나
내 심장이 뜨거워져 핫핫핫
나 태어나서 처음 느껴본 처음부터 따라가니 그녀 어둠 위로
튕기면 뭐할래 진짜는 진짜를 알아보는 법 Cause I'm the supernova
올해 맘마미아 너는 아름다워 반드시 널 내 걸로 만들겠어 올해 맘마미아 그게 바로 너야 같은 작정신 못 차리겠어 올해 맘마미아 널 보면 맘마미아 심장이 뜨거워져 핫핫핫 오늘도 난 그녀를 따라 바람따라 날아가
Dramatic descending run. Cool.
거침없이 달려가요 그녀 보면 맘마미아
Hey girl, hey lady
튕기면 뭐할래 진짜는 진짜를 알아보는 법 Cause I'm the supernova
올해 맘마미아 너는 아름다워 반드시 널 내 걸로 만들겠어 올해 맘마미아 그게 바로 너야 같은 작정신 못 차리겠어 올해 맘마미아 널 보면 맘마미아 심장이 뜨거워져 핫핫핫
Hey girl, mamma mia
All right, very cool. This was SF9's Mamma Mia. If you're joining tonight, appreciate it. Kaylee says, we young. Let's go. I did his rap section was sick. I really liked him. I was gonna give him a salutes. I also enjoyed this song. I agree with Kaylee in the sense that like this song will get stuck in your head. I think it's just like I think it's the chorus, honestly. I feel like that chorus has such a good hook to it. And I genuinely was like, ooh, I don't know if, like, based off the name, I was like, I don't know how they're going to incorporate, like, Mamma Mia, where it doesn't seem like, I guess, like, out of place or maybe, like, a little cliche. I think it is a little cheesy, like, in a good way. Like, I feel like cheesy is often thought of as being lame, I guess, to some degree. But I don't know. I like cheesy lyrics to some degree, and I feel like the way that they kind of put Mamma Mia in the song, I think they did a really good job with it. All things considered, and like I said, I think if they were able to make it catchy, which it seems like they have done, I think that's a win on their part certainly. So I love that. Like I said, Hui Young was probably one of my favorite moments in this song. I also enjoyed Young Bin as well. I feel like he was really, really good. And I also enjoyed a little bit of Taehyung in the song. I feel like his voice kind of popped a little bit more in this one as well. I know from what I could gather, and again, chat can keep me honest on this, I feel like Taeyang and In-sung are like the two that mainly do like the more powerhouse, like either ad libs or like over the top vocals. So I do do love that as well. But yeah, this one was really solid. I think the only thing that I was a little wary of outside of anything else, and it actually has nothing to do with the music, but I don't know what was going on with Dawon's hair in this MV. Uh it's a choice. It's a choice, certainly. I feel like that was the only thing that I was like, oh damn, like that was interesting. That was a vibe, certainly. So let's see what we got here. Sarah says, imagine living in a town called Mamma Mia though. Oh god, and no Santa says, oh here we go again. Chat's just finishing the lyricism. I love that. Jazz says, oh yeah, a fantasy actually talked to him about it during a fan sign, and he took them out like a day after. Oh god. Oof. Interesting. That's crazy. Okay. Wow. I don't know, man. I feel like that's a choice. I'm no hate. Like I said, I've had some poor haircuts in my lifetime, but that was a choice, certainly. So I was just curious if he's gotten any, like, I don't want to say flack because I feel like I'm not trying to poise any negativity on him, but I'm curious if people have asked him about that haircut and if he like potentially regrets it or not. So that's crazy. Sarah says, I've been heartbroken, and no, Sarah says, I'm sitting out. Oh god. Jazz says, yeah, they called him out a lot for it a lot. You know what? As long as he took it with stride, I feel like that's I feel like that's all you can really do. Like I said, it's a choice. It's a choice. I'm not gonna be on the haterade bandwagon here, but it is a choice. It is a choice. So anyway, we're gonna keep it moving. The next one we've got is Dear Fantasy, a dedicated fan song written by all the members themselves. Oh, that's so sweet. I do love the fans. I do love the fan song. So this one's going to be sweet. I feel the aura already. So let's get into it.
오늘을 기다려서 한참을 헤매이다 오랜 시간 너만을 바래왔어
솜사탕 같은 눈빛 달콤한 그 향기에 사랑이 와 내 맘은 스르르 녹아내려
지금 내 앞에 서 있는 너 이 신비로운 이끌림에 온종일 설레요
내게 너만 lovely 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 해 나만의 lovely lovely love 항상 그대와 함께 할게요 우리 약속해요 사랑해요 darling 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 no 나만의 darling 영원해요 항상 내 곁에 있어줄래요 나를 밝혀줘요 forever with you 어쩌면 이럴까요 처음 느낀 두근거림 햇살 같은 미소 자꾸 아른거려
내가 왜 이럴까요 설레는 발걸음이 나도 몰래 한 걸음 그댈 향해 가
지금 내 앞에 서 있는 너 이 신비로운 이끌림에 온종일 설레요
내게 너만 lovely 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 해 나만의 lovely lovely love 항상 그대와 함께 할게요 우리 약속해요
어딜까 쫓아간 적이 한 발짝 추억을 되새겨도 돌이켜 네 이름 그 다음엔 콤마
그리고 나로 채울 거야 우리 이야기에서 볼수 없어 마침표
넌 나만의 angel 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 oh 소중한 angel my angel 변함없이 늘 곁에 있어요 우리 약속해요 내게 너무 lovely 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 나만의 lovely lovely love 항상 그대와 함께 할게요 우리 약속해요 사랑해요 darling 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 나만의 darling 영원해요 항상 내 곁에 있어줄래요 나를 밝혀줘요 forever with you
Oh, very nice. All right. This was Dear Fantasy from SF9. Very nice. Very nice. This was great. I do have the song pulled up lyric wise. Now I did do Google Translate just to kind of see how I would imagine the lyrics maybe are a little off. But just kind of like reading through some of the lyricism is very sweet. I think I've made my comments known about fan songs, and I feel like not dissimilarly to like any of the other comments that I made about fan songs, and maybe not also to lump in SF9 in that thought process, but I feel like fan songs are always really beautifully written, and I also feel like as well like they're always very like appreciative, right? Like I think that could be said across pretty much every K-pop group's platforms at this point. I think it's so sweet. Again, coming from that background where I feel like that doesn't really happen in the like metal or rock genre. I feel like that's such a really endearing, it's an endearing thing. You know what I mean? Like even some of the lyricism, like, I think it's always like this one section and the chorus is like my own lovely, lovely love. I will always be with you. Let's promise. I feel like that's just really nice. You know what I mean? I don't know how the lyricism may not be 100% accurate, but I feel like to me, kind of at least seeing the way that they're writing about it and like kind of like the way that I guess the treatment of that in terms of their fans and how appreciative they are of like how far the group has come because of people's support. I feel like that's such a beautiful thing, and I'm always very like always really like touched by songs that are like this because I think they always do a really great job of, I would argue, showing off their appreciation and their admiration for people who are in fantasy, and people that probably have just found out about their group. You know what I mean? I think there's a lot of depth to it, so I really appreciate that a lot. But yeah, really gorgeous song. Like I said, I don't know if I had a particular favorite on this one. I think similarly to Let's Hang Out, I thought this one was really well put together as well, and I think it got to highlight everybody in a beautiful way. So I enjoyed it. So very solid song. Love it. All right, we are moving along here. The next one we've got is Now or Never. This is from Sensuous, their 5th mini album, and it was released on July 31st of 2018. Or is it Sensuous? I don't even know how to pronunciate that. That is, I hope I got it right, or at least close. So let's check it out. This is Now or Never.
Your destiny 너를 본 순간 모든 게 magic history 그냥 녹여버렸어 Beautiful day, beautiful life 세상에 몰들어 눈을 감고 눈을 떠도 네 모습 떠올라 Hey baby 넌 좀 놀라워 내 잠들었던 감정들을 흔들어 깨워 That's right 절대 놓지 못해 날 벗어나지 마
Ooh. Hey.
날 규독해 아슬아슬하게 줄다리게 하던 나를 애태워 네 TV 들리는 내 인생의 불을 당겨서 시간 없어 jealous Baby 거기서 jealous 꼭 널 갖고 싶어
Ooh. That's cool. All right. Wow. This was incredible. This was sick. All right. This was SF9's Now or Never. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you. Appreciate you. Listen, I hope at some point, I know I'll probably never get to this point, but I wish that I could move with such effortlessness that they move with. Like this, like their choreography in this song is probably my favorite so far. Thus, I mean, I'm sure there's gonna be other ones where I've been stoked on it, but I felt like the choreo in this one was just like next level. It was so good. Like the way that they move their bodies and like the way that their choreography is just super 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 smooth. So I love that. I think there is a I feel like this is kind of crazy. This is kind of crazy. So I love that. Shout outs to them. They did. I hope they still perform this one because this one is really really good. But wow, what could I not say that I enjoy about this song? Because I enjoyed like all of it. The instrumentation was really cool. I think the synth choice that they used was really fun. Um, not to reference the group that I'm wearing right now, New Jeans, rip. But I feel like some of the ways that they utilize that really kind of like glassy sort of like electronic, like dreamy sort of sound, I feel like they did a really I feel like similarly in a sort of sonic comparison, I feel like there's definitely some musical moments in this song that, and this is crazy because this was the egg before the chicken, in in this instance, but this one is phenomenal. I think like the way that they use the synth, I think this song has aged so gracefully, and I think it's like I still think I would argue this is probably one of the best songs of this era. I think it is, like I said, aged very, 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 very well. Not that it is an old song by any standard, certainly, but I feel like this one is so well written that I think it would age like a fine wine, certainly. Vocals on this were really great. I feel like towards the end of the song, and of course, I always feel like groups always leave some of the best moments of their songs for the end. I feel like the chorus in this song were so good. In song as well as Taeyong were incredible. Doing some of those ad libs and like over the top vocals, I thought that was really incredible. I also really loved Hui Young. He was incredible in the song. Chani was doing like the moonwalk at the end, according to Kaylee in chat. So I thought that was really good. But holy shit, this was like this was the song. I feel like if this is on the list to of my favorites without a doubt. But I am surprised. I would not be surprised if people got into this group from this song. If that's, and I feel like that's a huge compliment to them, because I think this is probably, I would argue, one of their best title tracks. I hope that I do not bite my tongue on that, but I feel as though, just based off of like the song and the vibe of it, this is just like the complete package for me. So this was incredible, phenomenal song. Obviously, well worth to be on my favorites of tonight. So. Andy says, love that one. And Andy also says, I think this was the first song that I heard from them. Oh, very nice, very nice. Kaylee says, as I mentioned before, Chani, Moonwalking. Let's go, let's go. and also said, this is how Hui Young became my bias. Hey, let's go. Cal says, ooh, yes, this one. And Kaylee says, this song is my favorite K-pop songs of all time. Ooh, that's a good one. Well deserved. Jazz says, they had a fan meeting in Mexico after this comeback. And I was so close to going, but I was was devastated when the dates didn't work out for me. Oh, that's rough. I feel that. Oh, hopefully, I know not to foreshadow, but I know that they just came back recently, so hopefully they'll be back. That'd be cool. I know they just played last year, I think, and I know they played in my area, which I feel stupid I didn't go see them either because they were great. These songs have been great, so I'm a little butthurt. Kaylee says, this song never got a music show win. It was robbed. That's crazy. That is actually nuts. This is so good. I am curious what came out the same year. I am curious what came out the same year that may have potentially robbed them of this. That's insane. It must have been a contentious year then. I wasn't in K-pop in 2018, so I can't speak, but I feel like there had to be some contention there, certainly. So, Jazz says they were on tour recently. I did get to go, had a blast. Hey, let's go. Big dubs. We love to see it. All right. The next one we've got is Enough. This is again, apologies on butchering it in advance. Is this Narcissus? This is their 6th mini album. It was released on February 20th of 2019. Zuho wasn't fully able to participate because of an injury. Oh, that's rough. Well, I'm glad he may have it seems like he's recovered, I'd hope, as of 2019. So, very nice. All right. Well, we're keeping it moving. Let's check out Enough.
넌 필요 없어 메이크업 난 불을 꺼도 예뻐 걸어만 가도 확 눈에 띄니까 내 옆에 붙어 날 꽉 잡아 Like ice with the water The sky man the fire 함께 해줘 You know 하루도 1분 1초도 제발 뭘 어지지 마
시들지 않을 것 향기를 낼수록 또 너를 꼭 그려해 빠져만 거 like black hole 난 먼저 일들어 네가 빛이 너야 내 눈에만 더 빛나줘
더 예뻐지지 마 야야야야야 넌 어딜 가놨지 눈에 띄니까 더 예뻐지지 마 야야야야야 널 볼 때마다 불안해 미칠 것만 같아 넌 나만 알고 나만 보고 나만 갖고파 달콤함에 벌떼같이 덤비기 전에 예뻐지지 마 야야야야야 지금도 넌 충분해 더 예뻐지지 마
꼭꼭 숨어라 머리카락 볼라 해가 달로 땅 위로 떨어진 별이
Baby that's you 말도 안 된단 말이 that's true
하늘에다 빌어 더 멋진 것도 빌어 남들 눈에는 확 끌어당기는 매력은 없길 나는 바래 더 예뻐지지 마 야야야야야 넌 어딜 가놨지 눈에 띄니까 더 예뻐지지 마 야야야야야 널 볼 때마다 불안해 미칠 것만 같아 넌 나만 알고 나만 보고 나만 갖고파 달콤함에 벌떼같이 덤비기 전에 예뻐지지 마 야야야야야 지금도 넌 충분해 더 예뻐지지 마 세상 모든 눈이 멀어서 아무도 널 볼 수 없도록 불길처럼 번져가는 너 오직 나만이 태울 수 있길
All right. Very cool. This was SF9. Enough. Very nice. Very nice. Okay. I'm trying to see who was. Okay. It was. I know the first member was Chani. Who's after Chani? God, I can't remember. God. All right. I'll keep looking. Um, very cool. Very cool. I thought this one was very interesting. I think coming off the heels of Now or Never for me, this was a tough. This one was. I think this one had a tough routing. You know what I mean? Like this is a good song. I do like it. I feel like listening to some of these songs back to back. I don't know. I think it's always interesting. I do love doing these in the sense of like, I love. I couldn't even imagine being a fan of SF9 and like waiting with bated breath for the next comeback. But I really enjoyed this one. And I think that if I had not listened to Now or Never, and this was just like, fresh brain and like a new song from SF9, I think this one would definitely be, I think this would definitely be higher up in the rankings, certainly. So I'll preface a little bit on my commentary on that, but I do feel like this one was really really good. So I will give this one another listen because I would like to feel a little bit more justified in my approach on this one. But overall, I thought the voices on this were incredible. I think all of these songs have been absolutely phenomenal. I think on the vocal front, certainly. I mean, I could talk about their choreography. I felt like the choreo in this one was also very elegant, um, and just well arranged. And honestly, I feel like with all of their choreography, I've just been enamored by, again, how fluid that they are, but also the way that they move in like formation or like individually. It just seems very impressive to me. Just because I think I feel like there's really like no mistakes, right? Like it just seems so like on the dial, so on the nose. So it's really cool to see like them move with such like definition. Is probably the best way I could describe it. But I really love that. I also thought that the rapping section, especially in the second verse, I thought was very interesting. Typically, I feel like with autotune, it like either works or like it can kind of make the song a little bit like interesting. I like that they use this in more of a creative fashion. I feel like a lot of K-pop groups definitely tend to use it more in terms of like I guess even more so like modern guys groups. I feel like they use it in a very like discerning way, and I'm very appreciative that SF9 kind of was also doing a similar thing where like I don't think it's I don't think it like detracted from my enjoyment of the song, but I do feel like it made like their rapping sections a little bit more intriguing because like the way that the auto tune was working in more of a creative fashion. So I did like that. I thought that was really cool. And I also feel like it breaks the verses up a little bit better because like the first verse is really good, but like I feel like there's such a difference between that first verse and the second verse. So I thought that was really cool, and like I love the differentiation on that aspect. The chorus on the song was also really catchy. I enjoyed that a lot. Um, Jazz says in song going off in the back, especially at that last chorus. Yeah, he was popping off. Great vocals there. I really liked Jaeyoon in this song. I feel like I have not given him a lot of love, so I hope that I hope people are upset with me not showing as much love to Jaeyoon, but he was really good in this song. Is definitely somebody I noticed a little bit more. I also enjoyed again Chani was really good in this song as well. I like that I think he started the song off, I'm pretty sure, because he was at the beginning. Yeah. So he was great. I definitely enjoyed his voice a lot in this one. Youngbin was also somebody I enjoyed a ton in this song as well. His voice him and Chani, I feel like, were the two that also stood out to me along with Jaeyoon. But this was a good one. This was a good one. In song also incredible. I feel like that goes without mentioning at this point, um, but incredible group. Like I said, they're all versatile in like different ways, so it's always cool to hear like different members like do different things in the in between. So great track. All right. Well, we're keeping it moving here tonight. The next one we've got is RPM. RPM is their seventh mini album, and it was released on June 17th of 2019. Hey, let's go. All right. So let's keep it moving with RPM.
Yeah 눈에 들어와 감이 확 오네 Her boom boom 걸려 killing me
Her boom booming 상승 기류에 차고 올라가려 I just feel it yeah. 빠르게 더 밟아봐 넌 부딪히면 C가 비켜봐다 비켜서 날 떨어진가 동시 피가
I like that guitar.
라이트를 킨다 널 향해 난 달려
기다려 날 해안가까지 갈 테니 멀어진 now 손에 닿을 때까지 너는 완벽한 나만의 heaven 기억해 every time RPM RPM 지쳐가는 love story 쳇바퀴 돌듯 제자리 너를 잡기 위한 racing game RPM RPM 불타오른 love story 멈추지 마 끝이 아니야 넌 날 가득 채울 energy RPM RPM 어디까지 갈지는 나도 몰라 말 돼도 쉬지 마 저 끝까지 어디든지 함께 달릴 수 있어 get up in my fire 날 해안가까지 갈 테니 멀어진 now 손에 닿을 때까지 너는 완벽한 나만의 heaven 기억해 every time RPM RPM
The vocals on this are so cool.
지쳐가는 love story 쳇바퀴 돌듯 제자리 너를 잡기 위한 racing game RPM RPM
If I were 너 뒤따라 날 run away 정신없이 너와 다음으로 넘어가기 전 널 가리고 있는 무언가를 걷어졌잖아
터질 듯한 굉음이 내 온몸 가득히 감싸고 꽉 잡아 날 놓치지 마 I'll make it right now 지쳐가는 love story 쳇바퀴 돌듯 제자리 너를 잡기 위한 racing game RPM RPM 불타오른 love story 멈추지 마 끝이 아니야 넌 날 가득 채울 energy RPM RPM
Ooh. All right. Very cool. This was SF9's RPM. Very nice. Let's see what we got here. Jazz says this one is also super catchy. Very nice. Very nice. Kaylee says, honestly, I feel like I repeat myself with these, but the chorus really do stick so much in my head for days with these songs. Listen, Kaylee, I get you. As someone who has consistently done this Mondays and Wednesdays, I feel like you're preaching to the choir because I feel like sometimes, like I said, I recycle my commentary on some songs, so from different groups. So I get it, I get it. But I feel like to me, this one was very interesting. I will say, I don't know if I was sold on it if like first getting through the first chorus of the song, but I will say once we got to the second like verse, pre-chorus, chorus, I think it just clicked. You know what I mean? Like there's something about it that just like halfway through the song, I was like, oh no, I get it. It makes sense. It makes sense. I will say I think that I don't know if it's that the pre-chorus is long or that the chorus is long, but I don't know. I feel like the line in the sand between the pre-chorus and the chorus is like gray. You know what I mean? Like I do feel like I do feel like there's a very interesting way that they approach this song, and I maybe potentially think it's it's obviously for a reason certainly, but I feel like that kind of like there's like kind of like a little bit of a gray area between that pre-chorus and chorus, and I like that. I think that it was really cool. I think the way that they transitioned into it, I thought was also very subtle, but also very deliberate, and I think they kind of masked it underneath like some like interesting dynamic parts. Um, I will say the only thing that I would have liked, and maybe it was maybe more so for like a consistency aspect of it, but I really liked the guitars in the verses, like that kind of like that like build, like that buildy sort of guitar part in the verses. I thought that was really nice, and I kind of wished that they used some of like not even like recycled it, but I kind of wish that they maybe incorporated some like I wish they incorporated maybe like some really cool like maybe like a power chord and I kind of let it ring out like in the chorus. I think that would have really like tied in that sort of guitar elementation in the verses, and I think it would have made conversely also made the chorus a little bit more like dynamically interesting. um I think that would have been cool. That's the only, I don't even want to say that it's gripe. I like the way that it turned out, but I think for my ears and how I'm viewing it and listening to it, I think it would have been cool if there is like a little bit of like some cool like like big rock kind of anthemic feel to it. I think that would have really like took it over the top for me. But I will say I will agree with chat, like the chorus is really catchy. Once you dial it in, I feel like I was like, oh no, I get it. It makes sense. Like the chorus is really, really good. I was very concerned on how they were gonna rope in RPM, if I'm being honest. I feel like that is like that was like an interesting choice for a song title name, but I do feel like they did a really great job of making it feel very interesting, very like K-pop catchy. So I like that. I was very curious on how they're gonna spin this one. So I think they did a really good job of it. Vocals on this were also insane. They were so good. Obviously shout outs to like the vocals that I really liked. I'll give a shout out to Dawan. I feel like he was really good in that bridge section. His voice was popping off. I really like that. That transition from I believe it was Zuho to Dawan was awesome. I love that kind of transition. It was super tight. Um, I also loved. I didn't really realize this until just now, and maybe again it's probably me, but I really love Channi's voice in this. He's got, I don't know if he was doing like that deep tone, but he must have had like a deeper vocal tone than I remember, because I was like I looked at the screen and I looked back at like the note, but I was like holy shit, his voice is so much lower. I was like am I like not hearing things right? Like am I having a moment here? But his voice is really low. So I was shocked at that. I don't know if like I don't know if things, I would assume that things may have changed potentially. Like maybe he hit puberty. I don't know, but like that's what I thought. I was like, holy shit, he's got such a deep voice. So that was cool. I was purely in shock by that. I feel like that took me a moment to collect the thoughts a little bit, but overall, great song. This was another phenomenal one. I feel like they've really been ever since Now or Never. I feel like they've been crushing it. They've been having some good ones. So RPM was another really good one as well too. So very nice, very nice. Kaylee says yes, his voice is lower, and Jazz says he does have a pretty deep voice. That makes sense. That makes sense. I wish I could have went back in time and got a snap shot of my face at that moment. That was crazy. But all right, we're moving on to the next one we've got here. It looks like it is Good Guy. This is first collection album. This was released on January 7th of 2020. Over 3 years since their debut, SF9 finally earned their first music show win with A Good Guy on January 26th of 2020. Very nice. All right. This must be, listen, if this won a Music Show award, I mean, this must be high up on the list here. So let's check it out.
있잖아 꼭 너에게만 보여줄게 널 근사한 남자인 걸 알게 될걸 Baby 지금 말해줄게 yeah. 난 너에게 보석 같은 사람 Just tell me why 진짜해 몰라봐 yeah.
마지막 chance 천천히 구워 놓치지 마
It's all good, 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 good guy, yeah, good guy. But you're bad, 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 bad. 네 옆에 내가 안 보여, oh yeah. 불을 켜고 찾아봐도 나야. 이리저리 헤매봐도 나야. It's all good, 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 good. 숨겨진 매력을 몰라. 날 꽉 잡아 더 느끼 전에, oh yeah. 표수는 내가 너에게만 이름 믿기지 않겠지만 다 사실이야. Feel it 매번 너를 본 내가 좋은 사람처럼 변해. That's what I like. 너의 전부를 yeah.
If I wanna show you take a feel and make a chance 나란 놈을 가득 채워줄 순간이길 바래가는 기다림에 미약하게 너에겠지만 pray for
널
you
위해 준비된 yeah. 선물인 걸 처음 보면 몰라 Just tell me why 진짜를 몰라봐 yeah.
마지막 chance 천천히 구워 놓치지 마
It's all good, 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 good guy, yeah, good guy. But you're bad, 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 bad. 네 옆에 내가 안 보여, oh yeah. 불을 켜고 찾아봐도 나야. 이리저리 헤매봐도 나야. It's all good, 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 good. 숨겨진 매력을 몰라. 날 꽉 잡아 더 느끼 전에, oh yeah.
시시한 사랑과 이제는 제껴 보통의 주제에서 네 얘기는 뺐어 날 우주에 너를 더 한무겐 기울이게 된 넌 삶 옆에
믿어보면 절대 후회 no never never It's all good 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 guy yeah good guy but you're bad 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 You said 네 옆에 내가 안 보여 oh yeah 불을 켜고 찾아봐도 나야 이리저리 헤매봐도 나야 It's all good 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 숨겨진 매력을 몰라 날 꽉 잡아 더 느끼 전에 oh yeah
Wow. That was great. That makes sense. All right. Very cool. This was SF9's Good Guy from their album First Collection. If you're hanging out for the SF9 deep dive, appreciate you. Thanks for hanging. Thanks for vibing. Let's see what we got here. Sarah says, I love this song. Cal says, so good. Kaylee says, I love men in suits. Jaeyoon's Jazz says Jaeyoon looks so good, and Andy says this one is amazing. I agree. Chat's on point tonight. We love to see it. This was a great song. I you know what? This one's going on the favorites. I feel like I would be remiss if I didn't put this on my favorites of the list here, but that chorus is so good. I love like the way that they kind of like staggered out like the vocals and then like good. Like I don't know if they're doing like some panning or not, but I love kind of like the contrast of how fun that chorus is. Super good. As well as that, the vocals on this were also phenomenal. I loved a lot of like the ad libbing. And I also feel like there's a lot more like ensemble vocals in this one. I mean, not to say that there weren't in other songs, but I think maybe there is more deliberation in terms of the ensemble vocals in this one. I was just like, wow, like the dynamics on this were just super fun, and like I said, I don't know if it's like panning or not, or maybe it's just like in my head, like there is panning, but like I just kind of love like the vocal production on this. I think they did a really phenomenal job of it. It has such a great space in the song. And I do feel like this has a super infectious chorus. So I think that kind of helps out as well too. Um I also really enjoyed in this in song. I feel like he was incredible doing a lot of those, again, ad libs, some of those vocal runs. The dynamics of his voice were really really good in this one. Dawoon, again, I feel like his voice is so good. I've pointed him out a few times, but I really loved his voice in this track. And Rowan, I feel like as well, like those two I feel like have been pretty much on the staple, along with in song. I feel like for me, as members that I really liked. um I'm pretty sure in the bridge, and again, chat could correct me if I'm wrong, I'm pretty sure it was Hui Young. That was cool. I really enjoyed that a lot. I think he sounded great there. I kind of liked his rap section in that bridge. A little unexpected, but I think it worked out really well. And I've also noticed how much I've appreciated his voice. I also again noticed. I also did notice how much, now that I know that Chani has the low voice, it's almost like I almost go like, wow, I know it's him now. So he's in that section. I think he was in the first verse, like just before the pre-chorus. He sounded incredible in there too. So now I'm always gonna associate the low voice with Chani as well. So I love that. But yeah, that was awesome. I'm not surprised that this won. It got them their first music show win, because this one has such a good hook to it. So, lovely song. Kaylee says, Hui Young, yeah, on the chairs. Okay, perfect. Love to see it. All right, very nice. We are keeping it moving tonight. The next one we've got is Summer Breeze. And this one looks to be, if I've got it correct, is it Glory Us? Because I don't know if that's correct or not, but it is their 8th mini album, and this was released on July 6th of 2020. Ooh, all right, glorious. That's what I thought. I like looked at it and I was like, is it Glory Us or I was like, man, there will never be a day where I feel like I am never not tripped up by K-pop naming conventions. If there is one, I'm closing YouTube down. I'm closing my channel down once I feel like I've mastered that. But so far I feel like I have been eluded every year. So the path continues on. So let's check out Summer Breeze. Oh.
향기가 날 춤추게 해 이 기분에 취해 여름 향기가 날 춤추게 해 이 분위기를 맞춰 여름 향기가 날 춤추게 해 좀 더 노래봐 좀 더 미쳐봐 날 춤추게 해 이 기분에 취해 여름 향기가 날 춤추게 해 이 분위기를 맞춰 여름 향기가 날 춤추게 해 사랑하기 좋은 날이야 내 스텝을 따라고 From the feel my feeling voice be my 거기 날 막지하지 말게 내 기분을 따라잡는 내 행복을 지마 여름 향기가 날 춤추게 여름 향기가 날 춤추게 Let's go! 노래에 취해 여름 향기가 날 춤추게 해 I feel it now 리듬에 빠져 여름 향기가 날 춤추게 해 Bang bang let's get up get up get up get up Bang 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 let's get up get up get up get up now 신나게 춤도 멋지게 yeah oh yeah 여름 향기가 날 춤추게 해
All right, all right, all right. This was Summer Breeze by SF9. Very nice, cool. I enjoyed this one a lot. I'll put it on my. I'll definitely be putting this one on my favorites. I'm not gonna be kidding anybody on this one. This one was phenomenal. I think the thing that I enjoyed the most about this song specifically was I loved the combination of like conventional and non-conventional instrumentation. And what I mean by that is I think they did such a great job of I can't even speak tonight. I hope I'm not having a moment. I feel like they have such a great job. They do such a great job of incorporating like electronic elements in the song, especially in the verses, and then like the way that they kind of transition a lot of those electronic elements out of the song and really bring in like a new like bring in the guitars, like the drumming, and have like sort of a more like dynamic feel to the chorus. I think it's so well orchestrated because I think like if you look at it on paper, like having a lot of like EDM and electronic elements and then shifting the chorus to like this really cool like pop like I don't want to say acoustic. I mean, definitely there are acoustic elements to it, but like that sort of pop rock sort of feeling to the chorus. And I think that that's so interesting, and like the way that they are able to kind of again cycle out of like these really, especially in the second part of the song. I feel like the second verse has like has those electronic elements, then it has like trap hip hop like 808 beats into it, and then like they somehow transition that from that pre-chorus, and then like the second chorus has like those acoustic guitars and like the whistle elements that I feel like they incorporated throughout the entirety of the song. And I just think it was very like well intentioned and well like thought out. It was very methodical. I think it like I think for it to work, like they absolutely had to have the song sound the way that it does. And I think like again the transition from like the verses to the pre-chorus I think were really good, and then the way that they transfer out of those pre-choruses into the chorus I think were really really well done. So I have to give them a lot of salutes. Obviously shout outs to whoever they worked with on this song. I think they did a phenomenal job of really kind of putting it all together. But I thought this one was a banger, 100%. Vocals on this were incredible. In song, I feel like I've talked about him a lot, but incredible vocals on this one. I really loved Zuho's rap on this one a lot. That he was incredible. So shout outs to him. But yeah, overall, phenomenal song. This one is definitely a banger, 100%. So Kaylee says, bangers after bangers. Let's go. All right. Very cool. Very cool. All right. The next one we got on the list tonight is Shine Together. This is off of their special history book special single album. Wow, that was a mouthful. This was released on October 5th of 2020. Another fan song written by the members to celebrate their fourth debut anniversary. Ah, very sweet. All right, let's check out Shine Together then. Oh, am I wrong? Is it not Shine Together? Am I wrong? Oh no. Let me know if I'm incorrect, Jess. I think this has to be correct, right? Oh wait, okay. I was like, oh shit. I was like, did I do something wrong? Oh man, it's all good. It's all good. I was like, I'm reading him. I'm reading him off the doc here. So I was like, I have to be right to some degree. So I did see Shine Together on the next one. I can skip to the next one. I just was trying to figure out Into the Night if that needs to go later on or not. Because I do see it here. So just let me know. Sorry, I added by okay. No problem. All right. You're all good. All right. I just wanted to make sure I was correct. All right. Let's keep it moving with Shine Together. Hopefully we get Into the Night at some point, but let's check out Shine Together next.
수많은 별들 중에 갈 곳 잃은 별 하나 지켜주고 싶었어. Day and night 내 곁에서 맴돌던 네 사랑의 빛이 고마운데 우린 운명처럼 만나 아직 전하지 못한 말들이 너무 많아서 내가 약속할게 언제까지라도 널 손잡아줄게 너의 자리까지 지금껏 나를 빛내기 위한 네 사랑이 감사해 손잡아줄게 이제 내 차례야 아프고 지칠 때는 기대어 내 손 잡은 채 걸어가 하루가 또 날들에 깊이 새긴 추억들 나를 깨워 마주해 yeah. Day and night 내 전부가 네 손끝에서 나온 빛이 날 만든 거야 oh yeah. 저 멀리 떨어져 있는 것 같아 항상 곁에 있어도 불안한 상태 널 더 꽉 안고 나서 숨을 쉴 것 같아 손잡아줄게 너의 자리까지 지금껏 나를 빛내기 위한 네 사랑이 감사해 손잡아줄게 이제 내 차례야 아프고 지칠 때는 기대어 내 손 잡은 채 걸어가 약속할게 어두운 길에 깜깜할 때도 날 위해 기도할 널 기억해 주저앉지 않을게 너 벽을 하나 뒀다지 그게 너와의 경계선이라며 텀을 한번 뒀다지 섣불리 가면 내가 다칠까 이제는 내게 깊게 새겨진 찬양으로 나만 너를 둘러싼 잎사귀가 되어 한 작품으로 피어오래 우리 꿈을 찾아 새우란 걸음 밟아 걸어 한 걸음씩 걸어가 손잡아줄래 영원히 함께해 앞으로 펼쳐질 우리 미래 같이 손잡고 그려
항상 나의 곁에 머물러준 너에게 이제 너를 미소 짓게 할게 약속해 너는 그냥 내 손만
Oh, that's so sweet. Okay, it's just all bunch of credits. Okay. Very nice. This was SF9's Shine Together. Very nice, very nice. Jazz says this EP, or excuse me, not Jazz. Kaylee says this EP has my favorite SF9 B side on it too. Oh, very nice, very nice. Um, I thought this was very nice. And I think there is something that I noticed about this song, and probably maybe by extension, a lot of the like fan songs. I always find it very interesting, and I think it was more notably with this song, maybe comparatively to the previous fan song, but I noticed that they write it from the perspective of like it being like a relationship almost, right? Like I think there's like I feel like it's almost like in some aspects kind of like written very similarly to like a love song, right? And I find that very intriguing. Like not in a good like in a good way. I feel like the writing style is very interesting. And I think like the way that they kind of again put it together as like a fan song, I feel like is really beautiful. And obviously I feel like the sentiments are still exchanged very well. But it is interesting, like obviously they're not gonna write about like they're not writing about like the fandom as a collective, but I feel like to kind of like put it all together as like them thinking about like one person in mind, right? I feel like that's really interesting. And like I said, reading some of the lyricism on the screen and stuff, I think I was like, wow, I didn't really, I feel like I haven't really put that together. About like uh, some fan songs. So I thought that was a very unique thing. I don't know if that's exclusively to this song specifically, but I was like, this was very interesting. So I did enjoy this song. Like I said, I feel like this fan songs are always really beautifully put together, beautifully arranged. I think the lyricism was also really on point with this one too. But yeah, I enjoyed it. I feel like fan songs genuinely are good. Like I never have really any complaints about them. Um, and I thought the vocals in this were also really incredible as well. So I'm not surprised. So let's see. Andy says they are feeding the Delu. I mean, I'm not gonna get myself in hot water on my future answer, but I mean, I do feel like there is, I can see it. I think I could see both sides of it. You know what I mean? Like, because I was like talking to my girlfriend about it, and like I always find it interesting because she's been a fan of K-pop way longer than I've been a fan of K-pop, and so she's just like, yeah, she's like, I used to go feral for those boys in BTS, and then she's like, now I'm dating you, so like, I'm fed. I was like, I'm like, okay, well, I appreciate it, but I'm like, I also like, I'm like, I'll never get it, right? It'll never be for me, certainly, but I do find it interesting as like somebody who comments on K-pop music. I think it is very interesting to be um in an umbrella of music where like there's people that are like will go absolutely feral for groups, and then there's some people like, I like some of their songs, they're good, I like them, they're a good group, they make good music, you know what I mean? Like there's like such a barometer of of fans in any group. So um it's interesting. It's interesting. Interesting in a good way. So Jazz says, I mean, you're not wrong. And Kaylee says me during their during their trauma envy. Oof. All right, well, we are gonna get to that momentarily. So uh next song we've got on here is Teardrop. This was released on March. Wow, the day after my birthday. Love it. This was released March 2nd in 2021. All the members renewed their contract with FNC Entertainment. Then in April, they joined their second survival show, Kingdom Legendary War. And on July 5th, they had their first comeback post Kingdom called Teardrop from their EP Turnover. Ooh, okay. Very nice. All right. And we are listening to Teardrop. So let's check it out.
기만이 햇살 눈부신 날 마주 앉은 우리 둘 아무렇지 않은 듯한 말투가 어색하게 들려
Let's figure it out
웃어도 티가 나 네 맘이 더 느껴져 이별이 다가와 yeah, yeah. 멋진 척 아닌 척 서투르게 연결하던 너와 나 이제 goodbye
Teardrop
What?
Teardrop
Huh.
Teardrop
Unexpected.
흘러내린 너의 눈물이 눈이 부시다
Teardrop
흘러내린 너의 눈물이 눈이 부시다
우리 집어삼킨 침묵 생각들은 조용히 뮤트 또 다시 네 아픔이 될 것 같아 알면서도 놓지 못해 I'm not gonna goodbye
쓰여진 영화 대본처럼
So torn apart
여기가 마지막 장면인가 봐 다시 써내려가 해피엔딩을 바래 간절한 기도만 yeah, yeah. 여기에 있을게 그래야만 할 것 같아 너와 나 잠시 급한
Teardrop Teardrop Teardrop
흘러내린 너의 눈물이 눈이 부시다 흘러내린 너의 눈물이 눈이 부시다
Sunset we ST shining traumatized your lines are going na 시간 지난 사이 변한 너의 sign
웃고 있는 너의 눈에 살짝 비친 눈물 가슴이 먹먹해져 무너져 내려
Teardrop
타고 흘러가 나는 흐르는 사이 시간은 거슬러 올라가 시작점에 다시 도달했을 때 한 방울의 흐름은 가면 되지 않은 다음은 없어야지 내 눈에서의 방울
흘러내린 너의 눈물이 눈이 부시다 흘러내린 너의 눈물이 눈이 부시다
Teardrop
Ooh. This one was clean. I like this. I like this. This was SF9's Teardrop. Very nice. Let's see what we got. Jazz says, love this one. Kaylee says, oh, if it's not here, Brandon needs to be shown their cover of Taemin's Move at some point. Andy said yes. Jazz says it's in part 2. And Kaylee says, I love you for that. That will make me fair. And Andy says, love this one. Hey, let's go. I enjoyed this a lot. This was really cool. I think probably the best way that I could describe this song, it feels like you're whimsically like falling in a weird way. I like it. I think it's really cool. I love that like really twinkly. I couldn't figure out what instrumentation they're using, but I really love like that twinkly element in the song. I like that it is present throughout the entirety of the song. Like you can hear that melody and you can hear it obviously louder and brighter in certain aspects of the song, and I like how it gets reined back a little bit in some other aspects of the song, but it's still there. I like that it like remains a constant throughout the song. I think that's incredible. I love that kind of I love when artists use that as a musical motif and kind of build off of that, so it's really beautiful. The voices in this were also really beautiful as well. I loved a lot of like the ensemble vocals. I feel like a lot of their songs more currently have been using a lot more ensemble vocals, which is great. Um, and I feel like this song does a really great job of utilizing all of them really well. Um, I would say in terms of the rapping section, I really loved Hui Young. He was really good, followed by Zuho. What a deadly combination. They both sounded really incredible. I also really enjoyed Chan Yi. I was a little surprised. He had some really good vocal sections in this song, and I was a little shook, if I'm being honest. He had some moments where he came out. I was like, "Ooh!" I was like, I didn't know you got game like that." I respect it, but really good stuff. Taeyong was also incredible in this song too. But yeah, this is a banger. I think I would put this. I'll put this on my favorites. I really enjoyed this one a lot. This was a fun song. I think this one had like one of the more interesting melody choices as well too. So I think to me that was definitely a reasonable reason why I love this one a lot as well. So great song. Kaylee says their music is like sophisticated, sexy to me. I see that. I see it. 100%. Especially when they're in the suits. I get it. I get it. All right. Very cool. Very cool. Well, we are keeping it moving. The next one we've got is Trauma, and this is from their 10th mini album, Rumination. And it was released originally on November 22nd of 2021. So, very nice, very nice. All right. Let's get into Trauma then.
뜨거웠던 사랑 깨져버려 얼음처럼 차갑게 나를 밀어내고 있어 거미줄처럼 엉켜버린 우리 인연이 the end. Oh no, can never let you go, never never. 심장에 박힌 너의 기억 파편들이 yeah yeah.
아픔은 나기도 불러왔길 수 없는 와이드 다 찾고 없어 이기적이지만 give me your love.
You become my trauma inside my mind. You become my trauma, trauma, trauma. 바꿀 거야 drama. Our love so fine. 내 운명은 스스로가 다시 쓸 거야. 'Cause you hit my trauma.
Mm.
'Cause you hit my trauma. Oh, you are my trauma inside my mind. 너 없이는 아무것도 아니라니까. I don't like this drama.
Who said it? I wanna be us. 쉬어가는 인터미션을 뿐 우린 비어스. 걱정하지 마 서로에게서 서로의 배. 내가 지킬게 그니까 넌 stay with me. Wait.
드라마 내 디자인 비극적인 내 삶 그 드라마는 떨어 내 앞을 채우는 백사 내게 내 앞을 맡겨 keep the memories in the back I told you I'm the male version of Venus
We
내
can never
같은 거
be apart, never, never. 흩어져 버린 우주 속에 그 빛들이 yeah, yeah.
아픔은 나기도 분노와 끌 수 없는 와이드 다 찾고 없어 이기적이지만 give me your love.
You become my trauma inside my mind. You become my trauma, trauma, trauma. 바꿀 거야 drama. Our love so fine.
All right, all right, all right. I love it. This was SF9's Trauma. Very nice, very nice. Let's see what we got. Kaylee says, yay. And also said this one probably tied for now or tied in terms of favorites with Now or Never. Hey, let's go, let's go. Andy said so good. Kaylee says the choreo, chef's kiss, more chair choreo, please. And Andy says I second that. Hey, let's go, let's go. The cherry choreo was sick at the end. I did like that. This song was elite. I definitely like this one a lot. That bass riff at the beginning, super tight. I like that. I love when K-pop incorporates like some really funky like bass riffs. I feel like they always cook with that, and I love that. This song was really good. I will say the highlight for me on this one was the rappers. If I can name all of them, I'm gonna try. I know Youngbin was at the beginning. His rap section kicked it off. I loved his tone in that one, so that was really good. And also, like his delivery was super tight in the second verse, so I love that. I think Zuho followed him, which also was really good. I love his like he puts a little bit of stank on his voice sometimes, and I appreciate that. I felt like this one had like a little bit of aggression to it. I like that. I feel like I didn't get as much of that prior, so that was cool. I like that tonality of it. Hui Young I think was a little bit later on in the song, so I definitely loved his rap section. I also felt like he was up there for me with like Youngbin. I feel like he was really incredible there. And there's got to be one more. I don't know who the last one is. Is it Shani? Is Shani a rapper technically? I don't know. I feel like he's not because I've only heard him in like the vocal. Oh, okay. I was right. Wow, I named all four. Let's go. Crushed it. Um, he was cool. I will say at least like I don't want to say that like he's the token like I have a low voice, like you know what I mean? Like I don't want to relegate him to that position, but his voice is so good. Like I feel like he does have some good rap sections, but honestly, like there's some parts vocally that like in terms of like vocal layering and vocal structure, I feel like his voice just aids in that aspect. But I would definitely say for me in terms of the rap sections, Hui Young and Youngbin, I feel like were my two favorites. They just absolutely crushed it. Zuho was also really good. I know I was kind of glazing him up with like his vocals, and I did, and I feel like he wasn't in my favorite verse lines, but I don't know. I think like towards the end, I feel like he kind of tried to cram a little bit more in at the end, which isn't bad, but I do feel like I was like, okay, like I get it. Like you just trying to just slam it all in there, and I appreciate that. But overall, yeah, I would say Youngbin and Hui Young were my two favorites of this one. On the vocal side, I feel like the vocals were really good. Honestly, I don't know if I really have a favorite on that end. I want to just say, just by proxy, like in song, just because his voice is just incredible, and I know he was doing like some of those ad libs over the top at the end of the song. But I really, honestly, truly felt like the rappers in this song did, in my opinion, I felt like were just really, really good. In this song, and I feel like that's probably the reason why I enjoyed it a ton on that aspect. Yeah, but this is a phenomenal song. So very nice. And Jazz says that he is more of a dancer. That makes sense. That makes sense. Because I was like, man, he's got some good vocals. So I was curious if he did. You said everyone in chat said that there was 4 rappers. So I was like, now I gotta figure out which ones they are. But very nice, very nice. All right, we're keeping it moving. We've got a little bit more to go. I know we're gonna try to get it all done in this sesh for part 1. So um we're keeping it moving. The next one we've got is Savior. Savior was released on December 30th of 21. Savior, the single, is from a collaboration with the Universe app. Oh, okay. Very interesting. All right. Let's check out Savior then.
저 빛을 지켜내 저 빛을 지켜볼게 언제나 눈을 떠 비춰 Wonderland Wonderland 부엽도 느껴봐 myself 어둠은 은밀히 움직여 울려 warning 나는 지켜내게 사실 두려운 걸 거미줄처럼 엉킨 미로에 이거 찔렀다 수많은 question 수많은 pain 더 깊이 갇힌 뒤에 내 안에 뒤진 눈을 떠봐 희망이 번져와 낯선 경계선에 서 있는 난 넘어 다른 눈부심을 봐 My way 펼쳐진 순간 Calling 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 난 빛의 세계 짙은 어둠을 걷어내 발견해 한계를 넘어서 오랜 숨결 속에 운명을 느껴 Save us, save us, save us 겁없이 지켜 저 빛을 따라서 감싸줄게 찬란한 기적 난 빛의 세계
빛을 본 빛을 어둠으로 가. 내 눈은 찌른 조명들을 닫고 양지 바른 곳에 가보지. 팔겠지 내뱉는 이음의 가치.
Rise up like 씨발 고전 right mouse click click sicker 그냥 나를 프로포노 뭐뭐 그냥 나를 바라본 빛이 물어
때론 얼음처럼 차가운 시선 날카로움에 길고 찔렸다 수많은 question 수많은 pain 몸마음 영혼 다 safe 선명한 비전 눈을 뜬 밤 잊을 수 없던 높은 선문 앞에 머물던 난 넘어 더 큰 눈부심을 봐 My way 이젠 do or die Calling 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 난 빛의 세계 짙은 어둠을 쫓아내 지켜내 한계를 넘어서 오랜 숨결 속에 운명을 느껴 Save us, save us, save us 겁없이 지켜 저 빛을 따라서 늘 지켜줄게 찬란한 기적 난 빛의 세계 꿈만 같은 걸 환한 빛 속으로 빠져들어
나온 순간부터 진교활한 말과 뱀의 게임도 이겨내겠지 이 또한.
난 빛의 세계 짙은 어둠을 걷어내 발견해 한계를 넘어서 오랜 숨결 속에 운명을 느껴 Save us, save us, save us 겁없이 지켜 저 빛을 따라서 감싸줄게 찬란한 기적 난 빛의 세계
Woo. All right, very cool. This was SF9's Savior. If you're hanging out, thank you for hanging. This one was very good. I like this one a lot. Um, Completely different track from Trauma, which was cool. I like that. This one I feel like was a little bit more straightforward, I think, production wise, which isn't a bad thing. I feel like, I feel like that's kind of like the magic of this song. And honestly, I feel as well with that, like, while I don't feel like overwhelmed by like the instrumentation of the song, not that I feel like have been with the previous songs, but I feel like this one really allows you to fixate more on like SF9 as performers, as artists, and there is a lot more, at least for me, I feel like there's a lot more dimensionality towards their like vocals and like choreography and obviously like the rapping in this song. And I thought it was very good. I really enjoyed Youngbin had started off, I think he started off this rap again very good. I feel like I've been enjoying again, I enjoyed him in Trauma. I feel like very dissimilarly, or very similar, excuse me, not dissimilarly, very similarly, I like his rapping tone in this one. I feel like he started off really great. Zuho also incredible. I feel like this type of style song suits his like kind of more aggressive kind of rapping tone a little bit more. So I felt like his verse, in my opinion, was a little bit more dynamic, a little bit more fun, a little bit more engaging. So I liked his voice in this one. I feel like he absolutely crushed it. And I also like that like he was doing like some of like some of the phrasing that he was saying like also matched up to like sort of the drum trills. I thought that was really cool. Nice production element on the song. I thought that was really sick. Also Hui Young, incredible again. I feel like he was really good. I also was surprised Chani did some rapping as well towards the end of the song. I thought that was really good. The chorus in the song is really catchy as well. I think the hook they did on this one was really, really solid. And again, choreography was insane. I love the like I love when they go into like a triangle formation. I feel like that's super super tight. And I felt like with this song it was this one was rad. So definitely enjoyed this one a lot. This was so good. Um Man, it's been hard to pick some favorites tonight, I'll be honest, but that one was extremely good. I think it just makes it outside of my favorites, but great song nonetheless. So very nice, very nice. All right. We are checking out Scream next. Oh god. Let's see. Can I Oh god. Anyway. Very nice, very nice. All right. The next one is Scream. This is from the Wave of 9 11th mini album. Wow. Okay. This one was released on July 13th of 22. This comeback was down to 6 members as Insung Hyungbin joined the military in March of 2020. Rowan wasn't able to participate, most likely due to his K-drama filming schedule. Oh, interesting. Okay. All right. Very interesting. All right. That's interesting. Okay. Let's keep it moving. Wow, that's I'm surprised to continue on despite people being in the military. Interesting. Okay. Let's check out Scream then. Very curious.
It's a beautiful day. 오늘 왠지 달라. 무슨 일일까? Why? 깜짝 놀랄 거야. Wanna play? Wanna go play? Wanna gonna. Hey, you beautiful day. 우리 부르잖아.
당장 해 떠날 채비 올라탄 내비 없는 비행기 A B C D N T N T 락사처럼 우리 영앤 free Freaky dicky 놀지 와 ain't kiki icy 차가운 bitches 이 밤이 맘껏 쏟아내 또 흐르면 닦고
know that we could get away 저 멀리 누구도 따라오지 못하게 Let it out 다 쏟아내도 돼 I'm real Get it on my dream Let's scream 시원하게 like ice Scream Feel it 타오르게 Scream 세상이 놀라게 흔들리게 Shine it out
Whistle 볼륨 whistle 소리쳐 let's scream We tap no data We can do it all with me
We just wanna have some fun 뭘 망설여 겁내지 마 Don't be afraid Yeah 한 프로필 말고 진짜 널 discover
찢어버려 cut the cover 모든 것을 take over
You know that we could get away 저 멀리 누구도 따라오지 못하게 Let it out 다 쏟아내도 돼 Out the end Get it on my dream Let's scream 시원하게 like ice Scream 빛이 차오르게 Scream 세상이 놀라게 흔들리게 Shine it out
Whistle 볼륨 whistle
All right. Very interesting. This was SF9's Scream. Very nice. Very nice. Let's see what we got here. Jazz says vibe switch. Kaylee says summer song. I would agree. Tutu Tunes, thanks for hanging. Thanks for the bits. Appreciate you. Um, I enjoyed this. This was fun. I will agree. Chat is a very summery song. Not surprised because it was released in July. Bars. Um, but I enjoyed this. This is definitely a change of pace. Complete vibe switch. But I enjoyed it. I think this was really, it was really cool to hear what they were doing, being down members, 3 members. I feel like that's a tough hit, certainly with any group, but um I think they did a really interesting job with this one. Very bright. I feel like a lot of their songs as of currently have been, I don't want to say they've been dark, but I feel like this one by comparison feels very like fun, very like major key. Um I think there's a juxtaposition that lies in that song comparatively to a lot of the other songs in their discography, but I like that. Um, I will say, that chorus is extremely catchy. I'm probably gonna I'm probably gonna have that melody stuck in my head. Is like that scream. Like I'm gonna have that stuck in my head. I also gotta say that this song, again, being down members, I think there's something really beautiful about like the ensemble vocals on this one. I think a lot of the members that I don't want to say don't get enough love because I feel like I've tried to show as much love as I could to each member on this stream. But I feel like there's a lot more coloring with their vocals. Like I really enjoyed Dawan. I feel like his voice is really good. Jaeyoon, I feel like I have not given him as much love as I could give, but his voice is really incredible in this song. Um, I also liked the rap from Zuho and Hui Young, and Chani was kind of doing a mixture of both, which was great. So it was cool. It was a cool vibe, like definitely different, and like Taeyong was doing a lot more of those like higher register like fun vocals over top. So it was cool. This was definitely a different vibe switch, but like in a good way. So um, definitely love that. That was fun. That was fun. So very cool, very cool. We're keeping it moving. The next one we've got is Puzzle. This is from the Piece of Nine 12th mini album. This was released on January 9th of 2023. So let's keep it going.
What you know about it? Let me talk about it right now.
이상하지 always 모든 게 빈틈없이 완벽하기만 해 지금 이건 it's no game 네 말을 믿었는데 that it was real 조금씩 금이가 나의 펼쳐놓은 각본과 이 뒤틀리는 조각들의 파편들을 모두게 빠짐없는 수집가에 깨진 작품이 너의 어깨에 점을 섬세하게 나의 가슴 끝에 애써봐도 어색한 너의 body language I'm gonna find the truth 감춰놨던 something 들켜지 흔들리고 있는 너의 눈빛
이제 다 맞춰졌어 figure it out now
Troubling, troubling, troubling 당황한 표정이 mumbling 내 맘은 다시 또 rumbling You're in trouble Puzzling, puzzling, puzzling 밤새도록 got me wondering 네 거짓에 나는 stumbling Solve the puzzle 맞출게 all the pieces 숨겨놓은 all the secrets 이런 알바에 깨어지는 scenario 답해 날카로운 suspect 말 못할 거짓 action 벗겨지는 감면 I solve the puzzle 이해돼 now 그땐 지나쳤던 힌트 점점 벌어지는 빈틈 지금이라도 just say sorry 포기하고 내게 솔직히 다 give up
어색해져버린 톤과 output 굳게 닫혀있는 phone time to lose
애써봐도 어색한 너의 body language I'm gonna find the truth 감춰놨던 something 들켜지
끝까지 흔들리고 있는 너의 눈빛
이제 다 맞춰졌어 figure out now
Troubling, troubling 당황한 표정에 mumbling 내 마음은 다시 또 rumbling
puzzling 밤새도록 got me wondering 네 거짓에 나는 stumbling
맞추게 all the pieces 숨겨놓은 all the secrets
신명한 알리바이 깨어지는 시나리오
답은 날카로운 suspect 말 못할 거짓 액션
벗겨지는 가면
I solved the puzzle I don't need to know what you're gonna say I don't need to know that you're gonna change
어색했던 표정도 네 말투 맞지 않던 이유와 상황들
이제서야 퍼즐이 완성돼 I know what you want troubling 당황한 표정에 mumbling 내 맘은 다시 또 rumbling puzzling 밤새도록 got me wondering 네 거짓에 나는 stumbling
맞추게 all the pieces 숨겨놓은 all the secrets
신명한 알리바이 깨어지는 시나리오
답은 날카로운 suspect 말 못할 거짓 액션
벗겨지는 가면
I solved the puzzle
All right, very cool. This was a puzzle from SF9. Very nice. Kaylee says, ooh, all right. And Sarah says they totally rock like the suits and all black aesthetic. They look so good every time they do it. And Kaylee upvoted that. Hey, let's go. I would agree. They do look very good in suits. I would concur. I like this a lot. This was really cool. I think what I noticed about this one that I really appreciated is that like every member was contributing in the song, like in a good way. Like there were some members that like typically would like rap, and it was cool to hear them like do some like vocal parts, like Zuho, I noticed, as well as that like Chanmi, even though I feel like he kind of does both. Like he's such a like jack of all trades in that aspect. Like there's some songs where I feel like he does some of the rapping, there's some aspects where I feel like he does the singing, so it's cool to hear him kind of do both of those things. It was cool to have Rowan back in this song. I like his voice, so I was a little upset that I didn't get to hear him in Scream, so I feel like he definitely made his presence known in this song, which was great. I love his tone. I feel like very similarly to Dawon. I feel like their voices, again, I'll keep saying it, I feel like their voices are so cool. So it was really, really nice to hear them in that aspect. Again, shout outs to Jaeyoon. I really liked his voice in this. Like I said, I feel bad that I have not picked up on his vocal tones a little bit more, but I really liked his vocal tones in this one a lot. I will also say that the chorus of this song is extremely catchy. I really love the chorus of this one. It was fun, very vibrant, and overall just a really catchy song. So they did a great job with this one. So I enjoyed Puzzle. This was a fun song. So also choreography. Their choreography has just been crushing it. They've been crushing it on that aspect. So great song. All right, we're keeping it moving here. The next one is Bibora. Hopefully I've got that correct. In 2020, March of 2023, Jaeyoon's turned to join the military, and on September 13th of 23, SF9 officially became 8 members. FNC announced that Rowan would be leaving SF9 but staying with the company to pursue his acting career. Youngbin and Insung returned from their military late in the year, so for their first comeback of 24, Bibora, they were 7. Okay, very interesting. All right, let's check that one out then.
네 이름 애타게 불러도 매번 3, 2, 1 you're gone
우는 밤난 over you 늘 궁금해서 Love me, do you love me 다 상관없어 Tell me, can you tell me 흠뻑 젖어 추억이란 비에 눈물 자국 새겨줘 그치지 않는 비
Ready to die 단 한 번만이라도 너가 보고 싶다는 간절한 마음 얼룩진 종이 속에 쏟아지는 ready to die
oh my 널 잊지 못해 멈춰버린 나 시간에 갇힌 채 살아 웃음만 쉬어 Round and round and round 반복돼 Round and round and round
미쳐버린 것 같아 They call me Kpop
비보라 차갑게 몰아친 슬픔 속에 눈물은 바다가 되고 맘은 부서져 내려 부러워 너에게로 휩쓸려 다시 돌아가고만 싶어 Right now 소중해 너 me 비보라 다시 돌아가고만 싶어 Right now 소중해 너 me 비보라
비와 눈이 보라는 듯 나를 향한 이유가 있다면 난 답해 이제와 너 잃게된 날 돌이킬 수 없던 거는 알게 그 당신 우리의 시간이 내게 맞춰져만 가던 곳에 거리낌이 없게 해가 뜨면 해만 바라보는 꽃이 되려 물어본다 떠나서야 지난 날의 후회한다
Baby 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 got me losing my mind 늘 궁금했어 Love me do you love me 다 상관없어 Tell me can you tell me 내게 너일 뿐인 bye 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 흐린 하늘에 no more stars 네가 있는 곳에
One time 재킷 속 비집고 떠나간 널 잊기까지 더 쫓아가 대로
oh my 널 잊지 못해 멈춰버린 날 시간에 갇힌 채 살아 웃음만 쉬어 Round and round and round 반복돼 Round and round and round
돌아갈 수 있다면 그때 그 시간에 pause 원하게 돌아서 나를 보는 모습
비보라 차갑게 몰아친 슬픔 속에 눈물은 바다가 되고 맘은 부서져 내려 부러워 너에게로 휩쓸려 다시 돌아가고만 싶어 Right now 소중해 넌 me 비보라 애원해도 대답 없는 살인 love 비보라가 멈추길 아무리 바래봐도 강해져만 가 거세져가 You're raining on me 끝없이 내려와 비보라 차갑게 몰아친 슬픔 속에 눈물은 바다가 되고 맘은 부서져 내려 비보라 부러워 너에게로 휩쓸려 다시 돌아가고만 싶어 Right now 소중해 넌 me 비보라 다시 돌아가고만 싶어 Right now 소중해 넌 me 비보라
All right, very cool. This was SF9's Bibora. Very nice. Let's see what we got here. A couple comments. Jazz says so good, and also said one of my faves for sure. This one 100% needs to be on my favorites as well. Super super catchy. I like this sort of like I don't need I want to feel like I'm landing this right. It's kind of got a little bit of like a dance hall vibe in the chorus. And like maybe like a neutro vibe in some ways. And I like that. I think it's super super fun. I also love like how infectious the chorus is. Like that when they're saying like Bibora, like it just hits. I don't know. I like there's just something about like kind of the musicality of it that just is really fun. And I think they just kind of absolutely nail it in the choruses of this song. So I really love that. I also thought that the rapping on this was really great. Zuho was great at the beginning, but I gotta give it shout outs to Hui Young. Like he was coming out the gate strong with this. Youngbin was great as well too. I think they all like really did a phenomenal job. And like I love the fact that they really kind of keep true to how they like stylize their rapping tones. I feel like over the many comebacks that I've listened to so far tonight, like I do think that they've done a really great job of like highlighting themselves in an individual way. That I feel like what if you've known the group and obviously me getting familiarized with them in this stream, like there is just a familiarity to it. So I really enjoyed that a ton. I also enjoyed the vocals. I feel like In Song was just so missed in their discography. So it's cool that he's back. He's got such a powerhouse vocals, and then mixed with Taeyong, who's also a phenomenal vocalist. Incredible work there. Dawon was also really, really good in this track. I kind of picked out a little bit more of his vocal tones, and finally, Channi was also great as well. I love that he is like, at least from my perspective, I feel like he's been a little bit more confident in his vocal stylization and being like, like I said, I feel like he does both, like singing and also rapping. But like his vocals are incredible, and I feel like now he's getting a little bit more moment in the sun. So I love seeing that. So great song, definitely. Like I said, one of my favorites for sure. Uni says part of the chorus reminds me of something. I want to say it might be Sogi's 28 Reasons. Not 100% sure though. Whatever the case, I love it. Hey, let's go. Let's go. I feel it. Maybe it's like the strings, like the orchestral elements of the song. I feel like I can see what you're cooking there, certainly. So that's a good one. I like that song. Shout outs. But all right. Let's see what we got here. Kaylee says, I remember going into this comeback, I was a little sad because Rowan had left, but the song was so good and is definitely a favorite of the year. Hey, let's go. Let's go. I'm also sad. I feel like I was glazing up Rowan, so I feel really sad that he's not in the group anymore. But I hope that he is onto greener pastures, certainly. So I feel that hurt. So on January 11th of 24, it was announced that Zuho would be joining the company Huidal Entertainment. Hopefully I've pronounced that correct. His acting management, but he would remain with the group. And Jazz included a brief rant/tangent. As retaliation for leaving them, FNC refused to include Zuho in any comeback ever since. Any anniversary announcements or anything related to SF9, they will not mention him. The members themselves are pretty much banned from acknowledging Zuho in public as well. They've tried to make him leave the group on numerous occasions, but Zuho has rejected the offers to do so. And they said that FNC, I hope you burn. Okay, tangent over. Okay, great. I also support that movement as well. I don't know what type of horse I have in that race, but we're here. So justice to Zuho, because he was incredible. So I'm kind of big upset on that one. Kaylee says Rowan did have a lot of back problems, and being an idol definitely didn't help at all. I'm so happy he's doing better. That is true. That's good. Good to hear. I love to see that. Big comeback story. Kaylee says not valid tangent. Hey, listen. Y'all know we keep it a buck here, so I appreciate it. I felt like I was the anger translator in Key and Peele. You know what I mean? I was being Jazz's anger translator, so I feel validated for that, and that's cool. I'm down. I'm glad that Jazz would allow me to be the anger management portion of them. So, anyway. The next one we got is Don't Worry, Be Happy, which I feel like is a little ironic given the tangent we just had, but is what it is. This was their 14th mini album, Fantasy. This was released on August 19th of 2024. Dawon's absence since he enlisted in May of 2024. So, all right. This is the next one. So let's check it out.
이제 그만 보낼게 너가 닿지 모르겠어 오픈만 남겨 우리 이제 진짜 안녕 yeah. 아프게 짓다 죽지 않은 만큼만 너는 밤 물에 잠겨 Yeah that's life 그런 거지 뭐 I'm fine Just one more 이별일 뿐 영원한 건 없지 yeah. 잠깐도 못 지웠던 stories
돌아보지 마
Hey.
Every time and every night 꼭 행복해라 넌 행복해라 I'm not over you 잡았던 두 손 놓을게 꼭 행복해라 넌 행복해라 웃어줄게 goodbye 널 언제나 기억할게 Don't worry be happy 널 언제나 추억할게 Don't worry be happy 에이 좋은 너가 원한 결과가 이런 거 아니었나 그간의 너의 태도 나를 향한 말투 모두 나를 밀어냈잖아 이제는 숨겼던 가면을 빼 솔직한 마음을 넌 보여야 해 이게 내 마지막 인사인 거야
서로가 봤던 그 눈빛은 멋지 사랑이 섞인 그 추억마저 burning 타오르는 것이 가파오르는 숨이 차오르기 전에 우리 부른 것이
Yeah that's life 그런 거지 뭐 I'm fine I just gotta let you go 잘 지내 Baby this is right Don't be sad I'm okay 정말 아무렇지 않아 Baby just get better just get better 괜찮아 걱정 말고 돌아보지 마 Every time and every night 꼭 행복해라 넌 행복해라 I'm not over you 잡았던 두 손 놓을게 꼭 행복해라 넌 행복해라 웃어줄게 goodbye 널 언제나 기억할게 Don't worry be happy 이번 뒤엔 다 볼품없잖아 뻔한 love song 비록 난 걸 사도 채워지지 않아도 love Baby don't forget my last goodbye 우연히 만나면 인사해 제가 goodbye 꼭 행복해라 넌 행복해라 I'm not over you 잡았던 두 손 놓을게 꼭 행복해라 넌 행복해라 웃어줄게 goodbye 널 언제나 기억할게 Don't worry be happy Just be happy Don't worry be happy Yeah Have you been 널 언제나 추억할게 Don't worry be happy 꼭 행복해라
All right. Very cool. I'm going to see if I can get a shot of all of them. Okay, perfect. This was SF9's Don't Worry, Be Happy. Very nice. A couple more comments from the previous tangent. Jazz says, but seriously, fish and chips get it together. And Sarah says they're next. Hey, listen. We keep, like I said, keep it a buck here. I'd love to see it. This was great. Very poppy, very fun. I enjoyed this one. This one, it was really solid. I also feel like low key these men were flexing their muscles. And listen, I respect that. As a man who goes to the gym, they put the work in. So I respect it. I respect it. But I enjoyed this a lot. I think the chorus of this song was really good. I do think that I feel like pretty much every song that we've listened to from SF9, the choruses have been on point. Like I think who they work with for their whoever they work with musically has done a really fantastic job with them over the years. And like I said, the hooks on the choruses have been chef's kiss. They've all been good. I genuinely, I don't think there was one song on my favorites list or on the list just as a collective that I wasn't like, man, the chorus just isn't as good, or it just isn't hitting. I feel like every chorus has just been super, super good. So salutes to them for working on that. As far as vocals go, the people that you feel like are already good, I think they just nailed it. In-sung and Taeyong did great. But I also really enjoy Youngbin as well. I think his rapping section was great. Hui Young was also really, really good. And Johnny, I feel like, has been the unsung hero, man. I'll tell you what, like, if I was to give anybody props in this group, I feel like Johnny has just done phenomenal stuff. Like, whether it's doing, again, the rapping, the singing, the choreography, I feel like that man is an ace. You know what I mean? Like he can really do a really great job of pretty much all of that stuff. So if there is anybody I got to give an MVP to, I feel like, excuse me, I feel like Chadi is definitely that member in this group. He's incredible. So salutes to him. He's doing a great job. So very nice, very nice. We've got two more, and then I will hit the hay. But the next one we've got is Love Race. This was from their fifth mini album of the same name. This one was released March 11th of 25, and this marks the return of Jaeyoon from the military. So very nice. Let's keep it moving.
Poor with your baby, mad type, probably dynamite. Everybody say love, yeah. You tickle me no way. I don't wanna let no more. I don't wanna let no more. No gosh, go and stop and take my time. Zero to 100, gosh.
저녁은 널 향한 love인지 running about it not turning it up 기어를 올려봐 끝까지 다 거기서 날 wait for me
I'm ready to move.
널 향한 내 love face yeah I gotta make you feel my love
Ready to move.
결국엔 I'll get you now wait for me now turn it up babe 절대로 밟지 않아 breaks now speed을 막고 돌려 breaks no way I'm ready to move Light out on the wall running my love race yeah 너를 향해 vroom vroom 가고 있어 vroom vroom girl
널 찾아 헤매 running in town.
지금 가고 있어 난 준비됐어 wait for me 데려갈게 너가 원하는 어디든 call me me 너도 알다시피 내 마음은 not casual so I'm gonna catch you
가는 길이 때로 내게 밀어. 누가 봐도 내가 너의 top. 난 따라와도 끝에 내가 winner. Pop out, regain, replay, go.
저녁에 널 향한 love인지 run it up 오늘 난 turn it up 기어를 올려봐 끝까지 다 거기서 너 wait for me
I'm ready to move.
널 향한 내 love face yeah I gotta make you feel my love
I'm ready to move.
결국엔 I get you now wait for me now turn it up babe
절대로 밟지 않아 breaks now. 스피드만 거돌려 breaks no way. I'm ready to move.
날 올라와 running my love race yeah 마지막 스프링 달려 to the finish line we go faster much harder we go all in this moment go pedal to the metal 계속 going 목적지는 이미 내 몸보다 앞서가 있어 내 맘이 you know 이 순간 I'm thinking about you 조금만 더 wait yeah I'm on mine I'm ready to move 널 향한 내 face yeah I gotta make you feel my love I'm ready to move 결국엔 I get you now wait for me now turn it up babe 절대로 밟지 않아 breaks now 스피드만 거돌려 breaks no way I'm ready to move light out running my love race yeah I'm the final winner come on now
Love race.
I'm the final winner love race yeah
All right, very cool. This was SF9's Love Race. If you're joining for the deep dive, we got one more. Thanks for vibing. Thanks for chilling. Jazz says a banger. I enjoyed this one a lot. This was fun. I like the. I feel like there's another song and I'm blanking because I feel like my brain's starting to to sputter. Um, was it Bibora? God, I'm having a moment here. I think it was Bibora. Maybe it was not. I might be having a moment here. But there was one song where they incorporated like guitar work in this, like more of a rock sort of style guitar, and I feel like this was what I envisioned the song to be, right? Like this is what I feel like the next logical step would have been for them to incorporate it. So I like that. I like that they went more of that rock direction with this one. I think they definitely nailed that sort of concept more. Again, I feel like I've said it a bunch of times. I feel like a broken record. The vocals on this were incredible as well. The one thing that I liked the most about the song was the second verse. I noticed the kind of back and forth between Hui Young and Chani. I thought that was so cool. I'm surprised that they have not done it before this. But I love the kind of juxtaposition, like that ping ponging effect. Um, that they had between both of their voices. I thought that was really cool, and like especially in the rap section, I thought that was super super tight. Um, I'll also give a shout outs to Jaeyoon. I feel like his voice in this song was so good. I mean, in a group where you have Taeyoung and Insung, which are both also very good vocalists, I feel like Jaeyoon has definitely cut through this song in a really good way. So I loved hearing his vocals in this section. I thought Chef's Kiss. It was really cool to see him kind of step up to the plate a little bit more and really deliver some great vocals. So that was awesome. Otherwise, great song. Really enjoyed this one a lot as well too. And like I said, the rock tonality I feel like benefited them greatly. So this was a good song. This was a good song certainly. So very nice, very nice. The last song we are going to end off on this part one is called Love Comes Slowly. Is from their special album About Love that was released very recently, March 25th of 2026. Jazz says that this is their most recent comeback, meant as a way to return to the past 10 years together. Dawon has returned from the military. Then Taeyoung had enlisted on March 3rd. Okay, so this is the last bit. Is he the Maknae? I would assume. I don't know if I don't know if maybe Chani is the only other one I can think of. Chani is the Maknae. Okay. I had a feeling. I was like, I don't think Hui Young or Chani have enlisted yet. So I'm sure they're getting through the cycle here. So all right, perfect. Hui Young and Chani are next. Okay. I was gonna say I feel like if I'm looking at the names, like I'm familiar with the names that were, and familiar with the names that aren't. So that makes a lot more sense. Okay, perfect. All right, well let's check out their latest song, "Love Comes Slowly." So check it out.
사랑은 언제나 불꽃인 줄 알았어 온몸을 집어삼키는 감정이라고 믿었어 처음에 사랑일 리 없다 했어 At first I was lost, now I'm found You keep me safe and sound yeah. 서로 일상이 되어가 자연스레 한 걸음 한 걸음 천천히 Sometimes the love comes slowly Nothing but you I want it 잔잔하게 내 가슴 속에 내려 한 방울 한 방울 조금씩 스며들어 그동안이 어느덧 넌 내게 그래 내 곁에 있어줄래 Always Cause I know that love comes slowly 조금씩 너를 배우고 내 하루에 스며가 말하지 않아도 느껴져 네 맘은 떠가 불안했던 내가 이제는 네 곁인 거라 사랑은 급히 오지 않아도 가끔 내려와 First I was lost, now I'm found You keep me safe and sound It's gonna take some time 한 걸음 천천히 Sometimes the love comes as slowly Nothing but you I want it 잔잔하게 내 가슴 속에 내려 한 방울 한 방울 조금씩 스며들어
Jaeyoon popped off. Hey, let's go.
우리 사랑이 영원하길 바라고 바래봐 그리고 그려봐 둘의 사랑이 오래도록 Always cause I know that love comes slowly
Yeah, this was it. This was a good one. I like this. All right. Oh, we are not. Can't do that. Not yet. All right. Very cool. This was Love Comes Slowly from SF9. Very nice. We're rounding off with this one. We got part 2 on Wednesday. So, if you're watching this live, come Wednesday. We'd love to see you there. This was great. I love this. I'm a sucker for like a little bit more of a ballady sort of song here and there. I mean, I love ballads anyway. I ain't a ballad hater, but the vocals on this were great. And I think the reason why I think I love this song a lot is I think there's definitely some members in this group that I don't think I would have expected them to have. Like, I knew that they were great vocalists, but I was very surprised at how much they popped off in this song. And so I wanted to give some special shout outs to Hui Young. Great voice. I know that I typically associate him with like the rap part of SF9, but he's got a really good voice. And I know he like had a decent amount of vocal parts in this song, so I was really surprised by that. I was also again shocked by how good Jaeyoon's vocals are. I think conversely to how strong In Sung's voice is, and he's got a great voice certainly. I feel like he was. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like he was kind of going toe to toe with In Sung in this song, which was awesome. I loved hearing that. Chani also has some great vocals as well. I know he's again. I've been saying it a lot, but I do feel like he is kind of the jack of all trades. Got great vocals on that aspect, and obviously was doing some rapping stuff, but I don't know if he's doing a lot more vocals now, but it is cool to hear him like singing a little bit more. Youngbin kind of did like a little bit of rapping slash like singing, like it almost felt like like a more musical like rap tone to his voice, so I like that. And Dawon was always incredible. I feel like he's always cooking for me in my book, but great vocals as well. I think him and I feel like him and Insung were close on this song, and I honestly feel like Jaeyoon maybe broke my streak of Insung on the song. Insung was great, don't get me wrong. I don't want to hate towards my man, but I feel like Jaeyoon's voice was really good on this song, and I was like, damn, he went a little extra. He gave it a little Salt Bay action, and I'm here for it. So, great stuff. Wow, what a cool comeback. I'm excited to obviously check out more of them as they come back and as they kind of recomplete the group again post military service. But this was good. A little bit. I'll be honest, a little later than I feel like I typically stream, but we had to get through part 1, so I'm glad to muddle through it a little bit. A couple comments here. Andy says that they love this one. Jazz says, I love Jaehyun's voice. And Gunky says, nice song. I would agree. I agree with all those things. That was 28, I think. Just about. So I feel like that's probably about the max maybe for me. I could probably do a couple more, but I know we're getting into part 2 at that point. So but in terms of favorites for tonight, in no particular order, Together, Easy Love, Hide and Seek, Now or Never, Good Guy, Summer Breeze, Teardrop, Bibora, and then actually the most current one, Love Comes Slowly. I feel like those were my favorites in terms of their title tracks and stuff. So really great. Let's see what we got here. Okay, I answered Sarah's question. Jazz says, sorry, I didn't mean to keep you so long. It's all right, Jazz. It's all good. I always kind of feel like I bake in some extra time just in case. So I'll just sleep soundly tonight. Guggy says, not SF9 related, but I'm really excited. MX just announced their next comeback with the EP Heavy Serenade coming out May 11th. The pre-release song Crescendo comes out April 28th. This was announced less than an hour ago. Hey, let's go. Kaylee says, I love most of their music, but Now or Never and Trauma are top picks for me. Hey, let's go. Let's go. I will say Trauma, I feel like was in the realm, certainly. So Sarah says everyone and their mom are coming back in. There I will say I feel like this year has been absurdly stacked, which is good. It's good to see. I feel like there's hopefully some good energy going towards that. So if this is your first time checking out SF9, please go show them some love. We will, again, be covering them a little bit more on Wednesday. Huge shout outs to Jazz for getting 100,000 channel points. If you come hang out live, you too can also get channel points to then cash in to do a deep dive once you get to 100K. A lot of people in chat have climbed the mountain, so feel free to lock in and be part of chat. Chat fam's amazing. I love them. Not to glaze them, but they're great people. So be a part of a great community. I wouldn't be here without these lovely individuals. So please show them some love. So very cool. I don't got anything else. If you're joining Wednesday, come through. Would love to see you for part 2. So that's it, y'all. Hope everyone has a good night, day, whatever. Enjoy the vibes. Appreciate you. And we'll see y'all next stream. Deuces, y'all.